Welcome to Baku, Azerbaijan for the 4th Karate1 Premier League of the season. Baku, that beautiful city, and some of those shots that we just saw on the banks of the Caspian Sea. Our program comes to you live from the Heydar Aliyev Sports and Exhibition Complex and is being broadcast around the world and live streamed on Karate World TV. This is the first time Baku has played host to the prestigious Karate1 Premier League. And a chance to look backstage, so to speak, in the warm-up area as some of these athletes are getting ready to show their skills on the tatami. Sakura Kukamai, absolutely fantastic form at the moment. Dilara Bosen going for bronze. This is going to be an exciting prospect for the day. We're now at the business end of the tournament following 2 days of intense competition, which has featured some of the best karateka in the world. No less than 8 Karate1 Premier League Grand winners from the last season are among the host of Olympic, world and continental champions here in Baku. I'm Billy Brennan, and joining me to provide you with all of the action, and particularly for kata, is the twins, or the Kuwait Karate twins. We're going to be speaking with Mohammed in just a few moments. But this is the schedule for the program that you can see lined up. Lots of exciting karate to come. So just as we're awaiting the first athletes to make their way to the tatami, I'd like to introduce the Olympian, Mohammed Musawi.
Hello there, hello dear Billy. I'm so happy to be here with you. So good morning to you and to everyone who's listening to this live. I'm happy and glad to be here for the first time as a commentary for the WKF Live.
It's great when we see you on the tatami, but for me and for our audience, it's equally exciting to have you sitting here, particularly with the both of you. And I know that you are so in tune, you're almost telepathic in the way that you think. You are one person, and it's just super to have you here.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for all these nice words. Yeah, you are right. To be here with my twin Salman is something very nice. We are always together in like everything, so it's nice also to be here on this stage, you know. So I hope that we're gonna have nice matches. We're gonna enjoy this together.
Superb. Our first match is going to be between Turkey's Dilara Bosen and Japan's Natsuki Shimazu. Now, you're from the Shitoru style, so can you tell us a little bit, Mohammed, about your experiences and what we can expect to see from these two?
Well, actually, no.
From Shotokan,
I'm a Shotokan style, which is the most difficult style, actually. But yeah, I'm expecting a very nice match today. Dilara Bosen is a great athlete, and also the Japanese girl, she's also so good. So yeah, we're gonna have a very nice and strong match. So I'm looking forward to see it now.
Well, the choice of katas will be revealed in just a moment. Now, there are 7 referees in the kata. Each of them will be putting scores into the computer.
Yeah, as we know, there's the 70% of the technical performance, 30% of the athletic performance.
Dilara Bosen, her choice of kata for this bronze medal match is Papure. Bosen was the silver medalist in Gaziantep in Turkey at the European Championships. Her opponent, Shimizu Natsuki, the 25-year-old from Japan. Her choice of kata, Superempe. Each of the athletes are wearing a different color belt. So you can see here, Papuren and Dalara Bossen. She's wearing the red belt, and Shimizu Natsuki is performing Superempe. She's wearing the blue. Red always goes first. So, Mohammed, how do you feel about going first or second?
Well, actually, it's a nice question. If you say like in the individual, sometimes maybe it's better to go Akka, sometimes it's better to go AO, so it depends on the match, on the athlete you are playing against. For me, if you ask me, like I would like to go Akka in the individual, it feels like better to perform in the beginning.
So if you're unfamiliar with the terms of karate, the language used is Japanese, and Aka means red, and Ao means blue.
Exactly.
So, first up, Dilara Bossen, her choice of kata, Papuren. She's seated number 6th. She's already performed Anandai and Kururumfa and Papuren in the round robin. So, Mohammed, can you tell us a little bit about Papuren and what we should be looking out for?
Well, Papulen is one of the strongest katas for the Shitorio style. You can see speed in the beginning. You can see like the athletes perform in a very speed way in the beginning. They use their advantage to show speed and power at the same time. So this is the advantage of this kata for me. I guess like female, they use it more than the male. It looks maybe better on them. So yeah, as I said, it's a very strong kata for the medal bots.
And you mentioned earlier, didn't you, about the technical performance and the athletic performance. Can you just explain a little more about that, please?
Yeah, the referees, they have like 70% on the technical performance, 30% on the athletic performance, where you have to focus more on your technique and all about the kata. So your athletic performance should also be a very high level, but you know, when you have the doing a good job in your technical performance, which will give you more advantage. So even though you are at the end of the match, you are tied with your opponent, so the referees will go back to see the technical performance. So you always have to focus on that.
Because kata is effectively a technical discipline.
Exactly.
And kata can be found in a number of martial arts, judo, aikido, and but also outside of karate or outside of the martial arts, kata can also be found in theatre in Japan and in ceremonies such as the chao ceremony, the charo, the tea ceremony. So it's a very important part of the story of how karate's been passed down through the years, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. Kata is art, you know, so it's not just a performance you go inside to do. It's like it makes you feel good. It makes you feel strong at the same time. So kata is something really special. It's the basics, the basic of karate. Like even the kumite athletes, they all need to do kata to have a very good technique while they are doing the kumite.
And your opinion of the performance from Dalara Bossen?
Amazing performance, actually. You can see a very good balance. You can see strong techniques, nice athletic performance. So in my point of view, it's a very nice kata.
So there we have it. Shimizu Natsuki is going to be up against it when she performs her kata. You talked about feeling good. You must have felt incredibly well when you were on the tatami in the Budokan, the
Yeah.
Olympic Games in Tokyo 2022.
Well,
2020.
yeah, actually, that was the best stage of my life to be at the Olympic Games. You know, it's a dream came true. I was working hard for like 5 years, trying my best to qualify to this big event, and finally I was lucky and I was so happy to be there. So that's the best feeling ever, to be there on the tatami in front of the million of people who were watching you.
And this athlete, no doubt, would have loved to have been there, and perhaps, maybe in the future, who knows? 25 years old, plenty of time, because karate's kata discipline, athletes can go on for quite some time, can't they, Mohammed?
Yeah, of course. So let's say in kata, whenever you are older, you have more experience. You can understand the kata more. So like when you are 25 years old, it's just you are so young. You know, you have more all the time for you coming. If you see the athletes in the Olympic Games, for example, Sandra Sanchez, she was. I guess 39 or 40 years old when she
Yes.
got the gold medal. So
Yes.
this is a big lesson for all of us that
And she went
it's
on to
not
win
all
the
about age.
exactly, and she went on to win the World Championships for a second time.
Exactly.
Phenomenal.
She's the only athlete in karate who have won all the gold medals.
Unfortunately for us, but perhaps time for a rest for Sandra. She's decided to retire from competition. And who's going to take up the mantle now?
Well, actually, this is for sure very sad news. Sandra, she's a very good friend of me and my twin Salman. She's amazing athlete inside the tatami, outside the tatami. She's so kind. She's a real legend, you know, in everything she do. So there are so many good athletes now. It's so difficult to think who gonna be next, but I think maybe one of the Japanese will be the next one. But as I said, there are so many good athletes coming.
And we are witnessing one of those Japanese athletes right now with Superempe and Shimizu Natsuki. Let's have a look and see how her kata is developing. Tremendous line with those heels and the feet position in the stances. And this is Shikodachi, a straddle stance. Your opinion so far between both these athletes going for bronze medal?
Well, they actually are doing. Dilara is a good kata, and also Natsuki Shimizu, she's doing a very good kata. Actually, Super MP is one of the strongest katas. So it's difficult to say who's better, but I can see very nice katas from both of them.
And I'm glad that you acknowledge people to tell
Yeah.
who is better. And that's the job of those 7 judges. And they'll each put in 2 scores, one for athletic, one for technical performance. And the top 2 and the bottom 2 are taken away, and the result is the score that's given to the athletes. And it is going to be difficult because both of these performed incredible katas, and it was excellent stances.
Yeah, exactly. So, like in my opinion, maybe you can see the athletic performance from the Turkish athlete, and you can see maybe more of the technical performance of the Japanese. But in the end, it's a difficult decision. So, let's see.
Will it be red or will it be blue? What would you go for if you were a judge? Mohammed, putting you on the spot. We have the technical performance and athletic performance. We see here ahead is Shimizu Natsuki. You're correct about the technical performance. What about the athletic performance? She was ahead on that as well. 18.34 against 17.92. You may well be right again, because it is Shimizu Natsuki who takes the bronze medal.
Yeah, nice performance, nice katas, and very good points also for both of them.
Well, we're going to have an opportunity now, Mohammed, because you were the athlete who was on the tatami as the athlete in the Olympic Games, and your brother Salman, who we'll have a chat with in just a few moments, was your coach. So how did you feel he performed as a coach?
See, actually, when I got the news from my Olympic Committee, Kuwait Olympic Committee, that I have been qualified to the Olympic Games, they asked me one question. They told me, what do you need until we are in Tokyo for the Olympic Games? It was like, there was like, let's say 1 month or 1 month and a half until that time. And I asked them, I don't need anything. I don't need any training camp, anything. I just need my twin to be with me.
Perfect.
Yeah, so you remember at that time the restrictions of COVID were so strict. They were like, telling me it's difficult, but they did it, and I'm glad that my twin was with me.
Excellent.
Our referees going on to our main venue here at the Alkalazari Sports and Exhibition Complex.
So you heard from your brother, and now Salman, tell me, how did he perform as an athlete on the tatami for you as a coach?
Good morning, Billy. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy to be here in these final matches of the Premier League, the high level of this competition, Premier League Baku. Olympic Games was something spectacular. It was something just for once in life. I hope it will be again one day. I was so proud of Muhammad with his performance, with all the great job he did. Actually, I was feeling like I was the one who qualified because we both worked so hard for this. For 5 years, we participated in the 29 tournament, and it was a dream coming true.
Sakura Kokamai from the United States. Her choice of kata in this bronze medal contest is Chatnyara Kushanku. And a fantastic athlete, twice world champion, Olympic silver medalist, Shimizu Kyo from Japan, 28 years of age. She's chosen the kata Chatnyara Kushanku, the same as Sakura Kokamai. She likes to watch figure skating, and that is her motivation for kata. Not sure that she's found peace of mind since the Olympics. She was an incredible silver medalist, but she lost out to Sandra Sanchez. And I'm not sure that Shimizu Kyo has recovered from that defeat. It really did hurt her, didn't it, Salman?
Yes, I watched that there live when Shimizu was so sad after losing the Olympic Games. Of course, she was going there and participated. The aim was the gold medal, as for any great athlete. But you know, this sport, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But we are so happy to see her back this year, especially after the Olympic Games. So, and she's doing a great job. She won 2 gold medals in this year in the Premier League. So that's the most important.
Yes, she's on a winning streak again, isn't she? She's going for bronze up against Sakura Kokomai. Sakura Kokomai is in form as well, and she's taken 2 silvers and 3 bronze medals in the Karate1 Premier League, but she hasn't taken a medal this season. So perhaps today will be the day. Who knows, Salman?
Well, yeah, Sakura did a good job this year. Well, she ended with 50th place in Fujairah and Karate1. Or no, that was in the World Championship Saudi, but she's the current Pan American champion. So I'm sure we will see a beautiful kata as always from Sakura. So let's see.
Your opinion so far, Salman?
Well, Sakura is always a great player, and Chatanyara Kushanko is one of the strongest katas and one of the most difficult katas in this style. But it's a very high-level kata for the middle matches. So I think it's a perfect decision to do this kata and this match. And so far, it's great as always.
And this is the first time she's performed this kata in the competition. She did perform it earlier in the round robin, along with Papuren and Kororumfa. And do you prefer the new system, the round robin system, giving you more chance to do kata than the straightforward elimination?
Well, comparing with the old system, the new system is much better because you can have more chance to do more katas in the eliminations or in the qualification round, the round robin. But at the same time, it's not easy, you know, because only one athlete can qualify, and at the same time, in kata, one defeat can lead you to not qualify for the next round. But like in kumite, we can see like it's a bit easier, I guess.
So Sakura Kokomai has completed her kata Chatanyara Kushanku. Now, there's an opportunity that the judges won't look at comparisons directly. They'll be looking at the scores and the performance against the perfect kata. And can Shimizu Kyo of Japan be perfect in this contest? Chatanyara Kushanku, same kata performed by Sakura Kokomai.
I think when both athletes perform the same kata, it makes it easier for the referees to decide. So, and in the same time, when both athletes do the same kata, it's always interesting to see the difference between the both athletes.
So if you could make some of those comparisons on the way through the kata, Salman. That perhaps will help viewers.
Shimizu is she's always great with her techniques, the dachis, the stances. They are always nice. Also for the look, you can see always the end of each technique with a nice pose. I think this is a big advantage for her.
Will the judges see it that way, I wonder? All athletes must have a favorite kata, Salman. What is yours?
This is a very beautiful question, actually. Well, my favorite kata is Gangaku. And I think which is the most difficult in my style, in Shotokan style. But I believe that with Gangaku you can do a great job if you have a good balance. And it's a very difficult kata, so it's a big advantage to choose it with great athletes.
It is indeed a great kata, Gangaku. Crane on a rock. Incredible balance required, isn't there?
Yeah.
In Gangaku.
Like the most important of it is the last part, because it's all about the balance and the yukuridis.
And on balance, who do you think is performing the best of these two athletes at the moment? Yoshimizu or Sakura Kokomai?
I think like in some parts Sakura was doing great, and Shimizu also was doing a very beautiful beginning of the kata.
Well, that completes the kata from Shimizu Kyo. Now it's just down to the judges to form their opinions on her performance. They've already put the scores in for Sakura Kokomai, so they can't change that. Would you like to tell us what you feel, or who you feel is the winner in this bout, Salman?
I think it's going to be Ao for Shimizu. And I don't think so, like the difference will be much. But to be honest, like both did a great job, and that's the most important.
Correct. As you can see the score there, 26.22, and you are indeed correct. It is Shimizu Kyo of Japan who takes the bronze medal.
Japan always great with their kata athletes, great mentality, doing a lot of trainings, focusing on the techniques, and most important for kata athletes. So that's why we always see a very strong and tough athletes in kata from Japan.
Excellent.
You don't have more job now?
So we are moving away from kata and preparing for kumite. And we'll get another opportunity to speak with the Kuwait Karate twins a little later on. So we are looking at kumite now, and that is a different discipline for those who are not so familiar with karate. There are three elements to karate: kion, kata, and kumite. So we're going to have the first of our female kumite categories. This is minus 50 kilogram. And to join me in commentary for the kumite session is the multiple continental champion, world individual and world team champion, and also the coach for Hong Kong, China. William Thomas, welcome.
Glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolute pleasure as always, William. And how are you feeling? You've got, obviously, you have Lau Mu Xiong Grace in the final that we'll be seeing later, so that in kata.
Yes, I mean, you know, once again she's showing her consistency now, you know, at world level, and it seems to be a familiar battle now between her and Ono, and every time we come strong, you know, we're positive, and you know, we're ready. We're ready, and she performed fantastic in the semi-final. So I'm looking forward to a great final and a great competitive battle.
Excellent. Well, we're going to focus on kumite now, and that's your specific discipline of an area of expertise when you were competing internationally, wasn't it?
Sure. This is my thing.
So this is Sidan Bugur, who'll be wearing the blue colours for Germany, and she's up against Italy's Armenia Perfetto. Perfetto, 27 years of age.
It's going to be an interesting battle. And I'm familiar with both the athletes, and it's one of those cases of, you know, their youth versus, you know, a more experienced athlete. And you know, Aka from Germany, Al from Germany, I know she's a really strong-willed competitor, and she's not asking to eat at the top table. You know, she's demanding her seat at the top table. So it's going to be interesting, this match.
It is. And if you aren't so familiar with the language, blue, Al, as you refer to, and red is Aka. Here we go then for a 3-minute bout between Germany's Bagur and Italy's Perfetto. And these opening sequences are important parts of the strategy, aren't they, William?
That's right. They're both playing for that first point advantage where they win the senchu. So in the case of a 1-1 or a 2-2 draw, the one that scored first will win the bout. So this first match, they're really just coming out now. They don't want to take any silly chances, but they are just waiting for the right moment to get that first point.
And you referred to the senchu, that first point, didn't you?
Yeah.
How important is that?
It's very key because at this level, the majority of the fighters have a very strong defensive game. So it's really difficult to penetrate that once somebody gets an advantage and to score 2 points. However, I feel it will be in Germany's advantage in this case to score, because she's really good on the counter. She has a very good Uruma wash. So it will suit her to score, to have Italy come with her. However,
that was close to that sweeping technique, wasn't that?
Yeah, great timing. She didn't quite have the positioning over the body to finish it, but the timing of the sweep was very good.
And you referred to another Japanese word there, Uruma wash. That's the Uruma washi, Gary. That's the hooking kick.
The reverse hook kick. So there we have it. Red has scored with a counter. So therefore, you know, the experienced athlete being a little bit more patient, forcing the attack, and then a well-timed reverse punch. from Italy.
And the referee, Joaquim Fernandez of Portugal, awarding that century you referred to. And you can see that little green dot alongside the Italian fighter's score. Again,
there we
perfect,
go. There
perfect.
we go. So this time the timing was fantastic. She realised her positioning was out. So this time, perfect positioning over the body, and there's the result. Great reward.
And how clean she took her with that ashibarai, that leg sweep. She completely unbalanced her, didn't she?
She knew she could catch her cold with it, and she just adjusted her position for the finish this time, and then that was it. A little bit inexperienced again from Blue, where the first one should have been alarm bells. I need to watch for that sweep because she would have had to acknowledge that she was caught cold.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's only a youngster. She's just 20 years old. She's just come up from the junior ranks.
Sure. So there you have the problem solving and the lack of taking something on board. She had an opportunity to score there, actually. She really should have just gone for that punch and with a good finish, and she would have pulled back a point.
You referred to problem solving. That's now coaching is becoming more of a science, isn't it? It's not just about kick harder, punch stronger.
This is it. I mean, you know, there's so much more involved with it. You know, athletes really have to have that independent thinking, that ownership in their fight, and you saw it here, where again she realised that she was at a distance, and another great kick there, another great kick. Really steady and consistent performance from Italy.
So perfetto is becoming perfecto. Absolutely brilliant technique, isn't it?
And if she scores another 2 points without conceding, it's a perfect score, 8-0.
And that will mean that the bout would finish at that point. Into the last 38 seconds. Is this going to be too much, you think, for BAKU to come back? 6 points adrift?
I think so, because she doesn't really have another level at this stage. You know, what she would require is another gear to go up, bring something new to the table, you know, up the intensity, you know, break the angles. So she's just coming stronger with the same thing, which again comes down to her experience and her youth, where she's not able to make that big level change.
There's another point for the Italian fighter. Still 3 seconds on the clock. All a bit too much now for the youngster.
Yeah. She got a bit, she ran out of options, and you can see that she was like, what do I do now? What do I do now? And, you know, as a coach, you know what they should do, but if the athlete doesn't have the ability to execute that, then, you know, you can say anything. But, you know, very good. And they're chasing points here. There's no real need to do that. But from a personal goal point of view, you know, some people take their points tally very seriously.
Yeah. And we just see here at the end of the bout, just as the clock was getting to 0, the coach put in a video review request because he believed that his fighter Perfetto had scored yet again. And this is the video review being considered here, and the decision is no, it didn't score. So it finishes 7-0, and a very strong performance there from Erminia Perfetto of Italy. We talked about coaching, William, and you recently were giving a fantastic award from Hong Kong, China.
Yes, very honoured to receive the Medal of Honour, you know, which is a British equivalent to an MBE.
Congratulations and well done, well deserved.
Twofold, really, for my contribution and support for the achievements of Grace Lau Mo Sheng in the Olympics for the bronze medal, and holistically for the program. That's a nice position, nice takedown.
What a fantastic...
That's brilliant.
That's a great replay, isn't it? Shows the karate perfectly, and there was the kick round the back.
Yeah. good composure as the kick came up, just to cover it and, you know, exploit the opening.
So congratulations on
Thank you
that
very much.
very well
Thank
deserved
you.
medal, and perhaps some would argue long overdue.
It was totally unexpected and out of the blue, but I gratefully receive it.
Of course you would. Well, we are going to be looking at the second of the bronze medal bouts, and this is in the female minus 50 kilogram category. This is a contest between Austria's Bettina Plank and Turkey's Serap Oslik Arapoglu.
These are both very experienced athletes here, and you know they have fought, you know, many times over the years. Serap, you know, would have been more dominant, you know, prevalent in those wins. But Bettina Plank is a very well rehearsed, well practiced and wise, very smart athlete, and she uses what she's got very, very well, very well. So again, if Bettina can go up, I would really favour her defensive game, able to hold off. However, Serap from Turkey has an extremely strong record.
She's a class act, isn't she? Because she's won 14 Karate1 Premier Leagues. She's been second on 8 occasions and 5 bronze medals. And as you see the gold on her shoulder, she is the grand winner from last season. Just got a friendly tap and encouragement from a superb fighter from past times, your time, Aligas from Turkey.
Yes, remember him well. Good friend, good friend. Interesting statistic about Serap. I did some analysis with a friend of mine on her, and for that year, I think about 2-3 years ago, she was the most successful athlete, bar none, in terms of points and wins and achievement, you know, in that period.
And the level of scoring. I remember you talking about this when we were commentating together once before, and she's in superb form yet again. But it has to be said that Bettina Plank also an Olympic bronze medalist, of course, we mustn't forget that, and 9 times she's been a Karate Premier League winner. So this is going to be a very cagey fight, or it's going to be explosive?
It's going to be who's best on the day.
Yeah.
You know, on another day, it can go another way. So the first point, again, is going to be critical. I think more critical for Bettina to get it, because Serap is very strong going back and forward. You know, very strong.
And she has, as you said, such range of technique, doesn't she? She can kick and punch and sweep, and it's all there. The referee here has given both a yellow warning for failing to engage. That's a passivity warning. And you can understand why they are being so cagey, so to speak.
Yes, very much so. And I think this suits Bettina at the moment. She's very patient.
And that was that hooking kick attempt there from Oslik. World champion in this discipline is Mio Miyahara of Japan, and the Olympic champion Yvette Goranova from Bulgaria. So the bronze medalist here, Bettina Plank. As you say, being very patient.
She is. She's trying to tease her out. She's trying to say, look, I'm showing you, I'm half showing you openings, you know, come on, take it. And I want to take my moment off of that. But a low-scoring match would definitely suit Plank. I think in a head-to-head, I would vote for Serap.
So this is a kind of a sparring between the two, but you see Plank there just giving a nod to her coach. Put the card up, please.
Yeah, she definitely felt there was some contact. Whether or not it met the full criteria is going to be down to the video review. But the coach definitely feels that, you know, it's a strong enough opportunity to get a VR score on this one.
Now there are 2 judges seated in the
Yeah.
booth, as you can see at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side. And they're scrutinizing the video. They choose one of 4 potential angles to zoom in on and have a closer look.
The front hand looked a little short, yeah.
So no score, but that means their coach has lost the card now, doesn't it?
Yeah, so now she's really got to look for this point. And, you know, Bettina's played a smart game. She has been throwing technique, so throughout the fight, she's probably thrown more, initiated more of the little trigger moves, just to get if it goes to hand tie, there's a little bit of dominance play there.
And that's important that you make those observations, isn't it, William? Because if it goes to hand tie, and that means hand tie is a decision by the judges on who they feel has conducted the majority of the action, the superiority of techniques. And
yeah.
And in your opinion, at the moment, you would go for Bettina Planck.
She's been a bit busier. You know, whether or not they would be classed as fully committed techniques would be questionable, but I think she's actually initiated
the majority of the action.
Yeah, I would say that.
But in this situation, Oslik has actually got herself another yellow card. She's on her last warning, so if she
down to 20 seconds now.
Foul now in category 2, she would lose the match. As you say, into the last 15 seconds we go. There's a fast punch there from Oslik. And that's been one of the few attacks she's made during the match.
Yes.
Shows the experience of the
absolutely
athlete, doesn't it?
Very, very accurate. You know, and one of the things I look for is the ratio of attacks versus to those that were successful. And she's very high in that. She doesn't throw much, but she's successful. But as we know, anything can happen in 5 seconds.
If you used a kind of a football parlance there, it would be shots on goal, shots away from goal.
Yes.
You know, that's the sort of thing, isn't it? That's
yeah.
And that 1 point was enough.
Was the difference.
All it needed.
I think Bettina played a very good game. Very good game to her. Her abilities, you know, she didn't want to open up early and have an exchange of points. She really neutralized Serap, but Serap just looked at the clock and she says, right, now. And with great accuracy, she took a counter.
High fives. Job well done. Serap Oslik. Demonstrating why she's got those golden embroidery on her shoulders. Chance to have a look at that point. There it was.
Yeah.
As you see, in the last 10 seconds, just doing what she needs to do.
Bam. Yeah. That's a great point.
Right on the target.
That's a great point. There's no argument with that. Going to be an interesting battle, this one. Jordan are really coming on the radar in Asia. Kazakhstan have been there for some time with a reputation of strong kumite athletes. So I'm going to be interested to look at this match. I expect the Jordan to come out quite fiery, quite intense, and the Kazakh fighter, you know, very strong tactically, very patient, looking for the right moment. But you know, can he hold off this athlete? We'll see.
So first out of the warm-up area is Omar Chakra, 20 years of age, from Jordan. He's a silver medalist in the under-21 Continental Championships. Scored quite well coming through, 7-0, 9-3. Then he lost 3-5. So
his scoring points is coming.
He's scoring high points, so we'll look forward to that. Might be kicks, who knows?
Could be, you know, at 20 years old and he's coming out scoring those points. He obviously fears nothing at this stage. But he's up against somebody who's a little bit more experienced than him, a little bit more patient. And I think it might come to that. If Blue is patient and just rides the storm, cancels out some of his big techniques, stays disciplined, he should take it. But this guy's scoring points.
Yeah, and wearing blue is Kaysar Alpizbey. Alpizbey of Kazakhstan is 26 years of age. As you say, a little bit more experience. He's had 2 Karate1 Premier League wins, 2 silvers and 2 bronze. So let's see how this match starts to unfold. Chakra, 26th seed in this competition. Alpizbey is number 2. So on paper, Alpizbey should be the one who's going to...
Should be. So Jordan come out a little bit nervous, not ready for the immediate action, which is a lack of experience as well. You're fighting for a medal. Should be ready straight away. Should have got his hands to that.
And there's a 2-point score for Alpizbey. He'll also have the Senchu to go with it, the green dot that you see there.
Now Blue's going to be looking for those openings now, because to attack, to put the pressure on, there's an element of risk. So he'll be looking to exploit every opportunity of red, of Jordan coming in.
See how he cleverly kind of moved back and then came back on that attack. Timing wasn't quite right there, but he knew exactly what he was trying to do.
Very good footwork as well. He just come in, he adjusted his body to present a small target, and he used his feet and his movement very well to close and to make distance.
See the referee separating the fighters. The wakarete is the phrase that they use, and Tsukate to bring them back into the action again. About halfway through the match.
Jordan has to create a little bit more pressure than what he's doing now. He's looking to just explode into a movement which has been working for him in these championships. But he's up,
that was a superb timing, wasn't it?
That's got to be.
As Alpizbey came in, that fast front leg from Omar Chakra was up there like lightning. And he's going to turn the tables now, because he's going to get a 3-point score from this. And now the pressure has turned, and it is Kaysar Alpizbey who trails by 1 point. He still has the Senchu, so if it's 3-3 and it went to the finish of the match, he would still win.
It's going to be interesting now the tables have turned, what sort of pressure that he puts on. You can see the confidence now of Jordan now. He's now believing he can do this. 1 minute away and he's got it.
Do you feel that Alpizbey was feeling a little complacent in that, and then he was caught out in that way?
A little bit overconfidence, and that's why I think he just rushed him without really setting anything up.
Yeah.
And he just assumed that he wasn't going to be ready like the first point, but this time he was.
So the scores now are 3-3, but the green dot, the Senchu, still gives the advantage in favour of Kaysar Alpizbey, who's managed to get himself back in the lead, and he's going to be much more cautious, I think, isn't he?
I think so. He's not going to underestimate attacking this young man. But he can still take it. I mean, it's 3-3. He just needs 1 point, and he's looking for it.
Into the last 13 seconds we go. So if Omar Chakra wants to take this bronze medal, he's going to have to up the game now. The experience of Alpizbey, maybe he's just taken himself down to the tatami, but there is a video review call from the coach of Omar Chakra. What are your thoughts on that one, William?
I think he's just chancing. Maybe he's going to get a takedown, but didn't look clean enough and timely enough. So, and I think, the accuracy was missing as well, I think.
In the top right, it seemed he kind of stumbled a little into that punch, didn't he?
Yeah. So he missed the first one and he tried to readjust to score on the second punch. But I think the rule is as he hits the floor, so they wouldn't score the second one, right?
Well, the technique must be immediate.
Yeah.
Must be immediate. So that first one, the question would be, was he on balance when the punch went in and did it meet the target? The second one can't score because it was the second technique and it wasn't immediate.
And I think that's what the coach is trying to suggest, that he's looking at the contact and maybe the referees will give it, but because of that ruling, it wasn't immediate, it's unlikely, I think.
You can see both the referees in the corner pointing at the screen and making their judgment now. We'll find out, and it is a no. And I suggest it's because it was the second of the two techniques.
Yeah.
And therefore wasn't immediate.
Yeah. But, you know, 1 second to go is worth a shout.
Absolutely.
You know, he's got to go for it.
Well, that's a convincing win after that shaky start, or shaky middle part of the match, wasn't it?
Yeah, he just dropped his guard a little bit, but I think his coach pulled him back in and said, you know, let's get disciplined, let's just go by the book, distance, timing, nothing silly. And I think that's when he got caught with the kick. He just rushed the young lad, you know, the Jordan athlete, really without thinking, underestimated the speed of that kick and got caught.
And wasn't it fast?
It's a great kick. So great opening move there. Didn't quite get his hands to it in time.
And there's that counter.
Yeah.
The way he chambered his knee, got it so high, didn't he?
Yeah. So high, so quick. Yeah. I would, you know, he got the punch there, but maybe his stance wasn't quite there, but the punch was effective on that one.
This is our next bout. Male Kumite, minus 60 kilograms, bronze medal match number 2.
So, sticking with the male minus 60 kilo, second of the bronze medal matches. This time between Turkey and Greece. Eri Samdan, Olympic silver medalist. And in the minus 67 category.
I've been looking forward to this particular match, actually. Both very smart and talented fighters. I'm not going to call the outcome on this one.
I mean, as you say,
it's tipping in Samdan's favour if we look at the form book.
yes.
But if you look at the fighting of Zenos, he is so smart.
Yeah, he is
so
indeed.
smart. So,
But he's in form as well because he took a World Games bronze.
yes.
So he's current. He hasn't taken any medals in the Karate1 Premier League yet this season. And Samdan was a bronze medalist in Batasinios, and he has won 5 Karate1 Premier Leagues. So you're right. Samdan is on form and on paper should be the winner, but not if Zenos can have anything to say about it.
And I think as well, if you know, the minute one of them takes the lead, the other person is not really going to sit back. You know, you're going to see the increase. I would expect to see an increase in tactical behaviours and execution and determination.
Christos Stefanos Zenos from Greece, 22 years of age, World Games bronze medalist. Seeded number 5, but he's up against the number 1 seed, Eri Samdan. Super fast, the lightweight,
Very fast,
minus
very
60
fast.
kilo.
You know, I would give Samdan a slight edge coming into this match, but I wouldn't call it an advantage. I think they're coming in on equal determination and belief.
See Samdan trying to put pressure on Senos. Senos is really up on his toes, feet moving really quickly. But the brain and the thought process is being computed so fast here, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So there we have the first clash.
Well, the coach did step up to put a call for his video review, and then he sat down again, but the review is going ahead.
He's trying to get an early start for Samdan, but whether or not that was convincing enough.
You see one of the judges in the top right-hand screen, he went for the point, and it was a Jodan punch, a high punch to the face. Now, did it meet the target? Did it meet the criteria for Ippon? That's the key point.
He missed. Looking at this, I don't think it was a clean technique from either athlete.
And perhaps the distance was incorrect, and that's what
I think he blocked it. There's no
the
score.
referees would have considered it, and they've said no, it wasn't a score. And a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, that card might prove a little more critical now in a match like this. So you notice Greece has now changed tactic, and the fact that he was getting pushed in the corner, or was he drawing him into the corner? And he is smart enough to draw somebody in and then
spring the trap.
Ready for the counter or spring.
He seems to have changed the tactics slightly, though. He's being more offensive. Well, he was.
Great.
But now
great movement there
Samdan's
again.
Trying to counter that. Halfway through the bout, still no score. And not a great deal between the two, really, is there?
No.
Samdan fighting in the southpaw, that right leg in front. Difficult to fight against
it is.
Opponents in an opposite stance like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a natural southpaw myself, and I would take advantage of that. And it changes the distancing slightly as well. So when you're, like, as we call toe-to-toe, you know, you're slightly further away. So if you're used to that difference as a southpaw, you're more comfortable than they are.
See, Senos just trying a double attack with those punches. They've got to be meeting the criteria for Ippon. Instead of a point, he gets a penalty or a warning.
Now, I kind of get the feeling that whoever scores first is going to take it. You know, and I think they know that, and it's coming down to the last 30 seconds again. So everything is going to happen now.
The referee was there, so we couldn't really see the punch from Samdan, but the judges certainly did. But there was a punch also from Senos.
Body punch, Chudanzuki.
So Samdan has that first score. There's only 20 seconds left. He also has the Senchu. And that green dot should appear, and there it is, right on cue. Into the last 12 seconds we go, and Senos trying to put pressure on. There is a video review call.
Yeah, so he's up the game as we thought. We knew that he's not going to sit back. Neither of them would sit back the minute they've gone down. But I think it's about now what he's trying to do. He's trying to give the coach something to actually put the card up for.
Now, did that kick go in? Was it in the bottom right-hand screen? You can see the kick has passed the body there. So it's passed. So it was with the shin rather than the foot. And that's why it hasn't scored. Incorrect distance is the part of the criteria.
And Samdan read that and just moved in.
Just closed him down.
Here we go again.
Into the last 8 seconds we go. There's a kick from the floor to the face of Senos. Goes to the body, but in came a punch there from Senos. Remember though, the green dot still on the screen. that means the advantage still lies with Eri Samdan.
It's interesting to see how he's going to go. Is he going to rush in or just take... Oh, there you go.
Wow, what a rush in, and that was what he did indeed. Really lightning fast front hand punch and turn the tables. He's now 2 points to 1. There's still 4 seconds on the clock. What can Samdan do about this? He's going to be hunting him down, and he jumps off the tatami. Well, now that is, you see, that situation, it will have a Hansoku Chui, of course.
Now 1 second
but he's going to come
clock.
right back to the middle.
This is where it should be a positional restart.
Positional restart. Now there's a thought.
So 1 second to go, you should be put in the corner. Put in the corner exactly where you went out, or on the line where you jogai. Then
you wouldn't step out, would you?
Well, the opponent then has a genuine chance to score. From 1 second away with class fighters, it's not going to happen, and Zenos knows that.
And we just saw that situation exactly as you described there, and Zenos takes the match because of the warning.
Yes, and he conceded the warning. He's quite happy to do that, but with 1 second to go, you should have a position within the last 15 seconds, positional restart. So just like the Wakarate, they should be saying, you know, Yame, award the Hansoku Chui right there, put them back, Hajime. So there's no time to gather your thoughts, no time to compose. You're literally under the heat as you were when you jogai.
Maybe that's a great suggestion. Perhaps you ought to try and air that somewhere.
Well, you know, this is great. You know, we're looking to put this on television, right? So the public will struggle to understand the tactical behavior of just stepping out the area, and they want to see the action, they want to see pressure, and I think that and it's fair to the context of the fight. You know, if you have a jogai
stepping off the area
and use it for a tactical reason, as we've just seen, then it should be a positional restart. Come back to the line, Hajime, and then in 1 second, 2 seconds, the opponent has a genuine chance to score.
Well, there's the food for thought, that's for sure. We're now moving on to the female minus 55 kilogram category. Umay Ugur of Turkey scored well in the eliminations, 5-4, 4-0, but she lost 5-6.
Turkey really, you know, showing their depth across the board here. You know, they're in quite a few medal matches.
But also both Kata and Kumite.
Kata and Kumite.
The complete picture.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're really, you know, showing that depth of skill and talent.
Agura makes her way to the tatami. She's seeded number 20, 25 years of age. She's up against Japan's Nakamura Shiori. Shiori, the winner of 2 Karate1 Premier Leagues. She's been a bronze medalist as well, continental bronze medalist. So, post-World Championships, post-Olympic Championships, Olympic Games, we're seeing a change of guard a little bit. Younger people coming in, people coming up from the junior ranks.
And we're seeing this threshold now of the under-21s and the 22-year-olds coming in now and really, like I said, looking for that seat at the table.
Yeah.
And being successful at it too. I would put blue, Japan, slightly ahead in terms of, in my opinion, of the outcome. But again, you know, Turkish fighters are so rounded and complete in their game, whether they're attacking or defending. They're strong in both areas. So you know, you can never rule out even somebody who's lower in the rankings. You can never rule them out just because of their talent base.
Is the patience of the referee going to run out for some action here? Mansour Al Sultan of Kuwait.
I think if nothing happens from this, he'll probably bring them back.
But there is a tactic going on here, isn't there? Because the Japanese fighter is trying to get her opponent close to the edge of the tatami. That's why the match has been allowed to run a little bit. There's a fast exchange of punches from both fighters here.
Yeah, so, you know, the pushing can be twofold. It can either be to get the person to attack, so you can actually do a counter-attack, or a setup where you're putting somebody in. In this case, she put enough pressure on her to force her to spring, got her into an exchange, and scored the point.
So Nakamura Shiori from Japan leading 1-0. She has the century advantage to go forward as well to a successful win at the end of this, unless, of course, Umay Ugur has anything to say about it. So in this situation, William, as a coach, what are you telling your fighter to do to try and get themselves back in contention?
I would be looking at, you know, rather than just kind of standing in front of somebody and throwing random techniques, it would be to get in a position of advantage, and that would be to put somebody in a corner, so you limit the options that are going to come at you.
So you're talking about the setup for the attack.
Yeah, you've got to get into a position of advantage to maybe tip it more in your favor. You don't want a 50-50, and then you can mount your attack or put enough pressure on them to attack so you can counter.
You see, as she walks back to the line, Ugur looking over to the coach for some more advice.
So then she's just steadily working in with a little bit of pressure, but it's not imposing at this time. So Japan is, you know, the athlete is holding her ground. She's looking confident.
Yeah, certainly Nakamura's feeling quite comfortable there.
Yeah, just spin out the corner, find the space, and they start again. So she'll ease back, she'll run the clock.
Nakamura goes low for that reverse punch, and there goes high for the punch, but it was the kick from Ugur that was successful. It was a flurry of technique from her,
She was, and she kind of lacked a little bit of awareness going forward.
So both of them scored.
Yeah.
And that's possible. If two judges go for red, two judges go for blue, they can both score.
But she really feels like she's back in the game now. And she is back in the game.
Well, she's ahead of the game now, it seems, because she's going to get another point. Referee just asking the coach to quieten down just a little. And
so now we're going to look at her defensive game now. Is she going to keep pushing forward? There's a risk of getting caught, or is she going to now try to really bring the result home?
And there is a risk, isn't there, associated with tactical changes. She's just stepped off the tatami, and this will be her first warning. And there are still 23 seconds in which Nakamura Shiori can get back into winning ways. She has the senchu, so she only needs 1 point.
And you know, Turkey athlete now is going to be more difficult to get her to commit to attack. She's just doing low-risk technique. She's pushing her off with that front leg, dropping, spinning, smothering, and classic tactical defensive maneuvers.
Another warning going to Nakamura Shiori. She's on Hansokachui. We're in the last 15 seconds, so she's lost the senchu advantage as well. That means she now needs 2 points. That 1 point won't be sufficient. Oh. So now we have two flags for blue.
I'm just wondering, did Turkey just need to run at that point? So little time left.
And there's a video review. This is a crucial call for this video review from Aligas, the coach of Turkey.
Did the punch go past top right?
It certainly saw the pad. You can see the punch passing the face.
Did she have to go? Did she have to go?
No score. 1 second on the clock. She could still get a point. And remember, the green dot is still there, but the century has been lost. But that doesn't matter because it is Nakamura Shiori of Japan who takes the bronze medal.
Could have gone either way, that match. You know, Turkey did well to come back from behind, take the lead. Had some great defensive strategies to cancel out, but again, she got caught going forward.
Yes.
She got, you know, when you go forward, you put yourself in that scoring zone. You do take a chance. She took a chance maybe to seal the win. She maybe she wasn't sure she would get it on a hand tie because there was no senshu.
Absolutely.
And it's difficult to judge. You know, in that moment, at that time, 1 second, I'm going to try and take it. And you can't fault somebody for putting it on the line and trying to take it.
So can I ask you, William, what kind of balance do you have between your tactical and strategic work and your physical work for your athletes?
For me, there's a link between, you know, between the tactical and the physical, you know, and the technical. I think they're all closely linked. And between the physical, for example, the better physical shape you are in, the more you are able to execute a strong defensive or strong attacking at the end of a match. So you can execute strong tactical behaviours at an end if you're in great physical shape.
Right.
And quite often, if you're not really in good physical shape, we see both technique and tactical awareness diminish in the last 30 seconds of a fight, where what they're throwing is not quality enough to score.
Right.
So that's how the physical can impact on the tactical and the technical.
And in the tactical and technical strategic kind of work, do you do any classroom work? Do you sit down and study video, or do you talk about these things?
Yeah, all of the above. All of the above. You know, I have, in terms of analysis, you know, I use 3 types of analysis. I have one where we analyze training sessions, their performance in training. Once where they analyze themselves and we analyze them in competition. And the last one is when you analyze an opponent.
Right.
And I treat them as 3 different types of analysis. One is a performance in training, one is your performance in competition, and one is an opponent's performance.
So it's such a technical discipline from a coaching point of view. You have to consider so much: nutrition, psychology, physical development.
Sure.
And the results are as you've seen.
That's what we see. Yeah.
Your athletes going for gold.
Yeah. Again, Turkey again, another medal match, another well-decorated athlete against Iran, who both nations have a strong culture, you know, of strong technical and tactical abilities and great psychological, you know, characteristics as well. Strength, determination, commitment, will to win.
So we have Karavat Akhtar of Islamic Republic of Iran. She's wearing the red colours. Now, Iran hasn't been actively involved in the Karate1 Premier League this season. And she's seeded number 8. And she's up against Tuba Yakan, 31 years of age, from Turkey. Tuba Yakan had a thrilling 9-8 win against Sioda Dishad of Algeria in the elimination rounds, and that was a cracking. She also scored 7-0 and then went on to score another 9-1. So Tuba Yakan is really capable of high-scoring technique.
Yes, and again, you know, I've got to tip the balance you know, in Turkey's favour in this particular match. But, you know, the Iranian athlete can hit you at any time with anything. So it's by no means a given outcome here. Wanu and Mawash can take it, but we know the ability of Blue to come back and to actually, okay, score with some big techniques of her own.
You see that bouncing, that very light movement around the tatami.
Yeah.
In years gone by, it was very much more stable and flat-footed. A different kind of karate then, wasn't it?
Yes, and I think as the rules change, you know, and the education, the knowledge of sports science, and the impact of and the knowledge of movement and what makes you fast, so the fighters have adapted and the coaches have adapted to that. So
that's the evolution of the sport, isn't it?
That's right, yeah.
And there was an attack coming from Yakan. Kaksar was looking at the counter.
Turned away. So Blue went in. As she turned away, she lost some zanchin.
Yep.
And a well-rehearsed drill where she drew back, the Iranian athlete drew back, and then as we can see, and then came back, drew back, and then goes back.
There is a video review request from the coach of Yakan, who believes that score should have been given. And there's the punch going in. But as you can see, it's been rejected, and the reason it was off target. And you quite rightly say Kaksar drew back away from that and then put in that counter punch to score the point. It's interesting, isn't it, the way that Kaksar was, I'm not doing anything wrong, ref, I've got my hands up, I'm just trying to... Tactics is really important, isn't it?
You know, now very much so. And you can see, you know, the Iranian athlete now is gone very defensive. She's using a lot of movement to disorientate, to send the Turkish athlete the wrong way. And at the moment, she's successful.
She did get a warning that time for the category 2, and as that Tubi Yakan attack came in, Kaksar again caught her with the counter punch.
Always run that way. When you run at somebody, you know, this is the risk. Didn't score it.
Falling on the floor, was that necessary, do you think, or was that tactical?
Well,
because it was...
I have my opinion on this, and if there's been no contact and the person falls on the floor, then that clearly is avoiding combat.
Time wasting?
Time wasting, avoiding combat. Your action has diminished the ability for your opponent to score.
Right.
Therefore, should be a warning.
Well, her coach felt that there was a score here.
Possibly to give a break in the intensity.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's a tactical call, isn't it?
Sure.
Takes that focus and concentration away. You mentioned Zanchin, which is what that's about.
So now, just come down. Yeah, come down with the mood. She can compose. She can think about 6 seconds, and she's now more ready. Yeah. Were they falling in the first 2 minutes 45? But as long as the rules permit, she's very strong.
Oh, was that close? Was that close? Now, the problem is the coach
Oh.
doesn't have the card, so he can't call it because he was unsuccessful last time. Not sure from that angle. Maybe there's an opportunity to see that in the replay. Who knows?
You might see that, yeah.
But I'm not sure if the kick went past. You couldn't quite see from that angle and that quick.
Yeah. I think a great fight from the Iranian athlete. Great fight, because it's a game of taking your chances. It's a game of taking your chances. And she had 2 clear chances, and she took them both. So, and this is how you beat, you know, on paper, somebody who's a more experienced athlete. So a very good win, and an example of, you know, take your chances. You know, she had 2 clear opportunities and she took them. There you go.
That was the video review call where you said that she stepped in and came back again, but she looked away, and then the counter punch was in.
Great.
And that was the score that we saw earlier.
Great point. They're not going to show the Uruma wash.
Maybe he'll make it into the highlights or something later on. Never mind. But we're going to move on now to the male Kumite minus 67 kilogram category.
So Azerbaijan versus Japan, correct? Is that right? Or is it the other match?
No, this is Morocco, Kazakhstan.
Oh, okay.
Ready, so let's meet our competitors now.
And the next bronze medalist is Azerbaijan.
Ready, red, coming from Morocco, is
Anas Alami, seeded number 12 for the competition. He was an under-21 world champion. Hasn't been successful yet in the Karate1 Premier League. Dida Amarali, 7th seed, 28 years of age. He was the gold medalist in Fujairah. He's also had a silver and a bronze medal in the Karate1 Premier League. Kazakhstan, another powerful nation for karate, William.
Very much so. Very much so. And you know, I've been on training camps there, and they train with such an intensity, and very smart. So, you know you're going to get a strong base, whether it be attack or defensive skills here. But another young man from Morocco wants a seat at the table.
Yeah, indeed. He's only 22 years of age. Jahangir Babiev of Azerbaijan, the referee, gets them underway. 3-minute bouts. So with the lighter weights, minus 67 kilogram.
So straight to work.
Both going in at the same time.
Yeah. It's worth a shout from Morocco, but I think Blue from Kazakhstan come out actually actively looking. You know, he come out straight for work and he's saying, right, first opportunity, I'm going to go.
You talked about decision making, and that was he set his stall out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Just look at the best screen to look at here, and it's perhaps top right. You can see that punch from Morocco's Anas Alami, and it seems that it may have slipped past.
And what is careful to note, both Kazakhstan.
Well, there's the. You see the punch go in, and it was
Yeah.
on target when it started, but the hikate, the reaction afterwards, it slipped through. Now, was it a score? No, it wasn't.
Didn't give it.
It was very close, though.
Yeah.
Very close.
And is it a coincidence that both Kazakhstani fighters both attacked in the first 10 seconds
Or is it strategic?
and scored? I'm just saying.
So watch out for that. You heard it here from William Thomas.
Just an observation. Because a lot of people come out and they mutually want to just bounce it out. But again, this young guy, he wants to eat at the table. He's not settling for crumbs. And the fight has started.
I like the food analogies that you use. He's certainly hungry for success, that's for sure. Anas Alami, he's now on the scoreboard. He just trails by the Senchu advantage, which is held by Didar Amarali of Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan's making the window of opportunity to be countered. He's making that window smaller by resetting really quickly and getting back to readiness.
Yes.
After he throws, so the window to score is smaller. So the Moroccan athlete's going to have to be really sharp to catch him.
And what you're explaining here is that those very fine margins between success and failure for techniques and skills.
Yes. So just by resetting quickly, he narrows that window. So 3-1 in flags to Kazakhstan.
And now he extends the lead by a further Yuko. He still has the Senchu advantage, so Didar Amarali sitting quite pretty here now. Still halfway through though, so with plenty of time in which Anas Alami can get back in track.
One kick can change everything.
Alami, now his coach has lost the card, so there are a couple of occasions where he may wish to have called that, but the video review is from Didar Amarali's coach, Tariq Abdesalem.
Could be it's a strong call. I heard that kick. It's just whether or not the technique was good, but the timing and the contact was good.
So there's the kick round the back. The screen on top right looked pretty good. There's the one, and the kick went in low. Now, did it have good form, William? That's the question.
I think so. I think
it was a good technique.
I mean, you can say he could have had a little bit more pivot on the hip, but
yeah, you're right. It is a good score, and the coach, Tariq Abdesalem, I have to say, has got an excellent record on calling.
He has.
For points. So, once he retires from being a coach, he should perhaps take up refereeing.
Maybe.
There's a pushing kick there, a side kick attempt from Alami.
No card, so he can't even possibly challenge that.
No, that's must be so frustrating for the fighter. 4 points to 1. 45 seconds still to go. Didar Amarali of Kazakhstan leading. Anas Alami of Morocco.
And he's got great focus, Kazakhstan. He's great Zanchin, great focus all the way through. During, in between, after clashes, he's really focused and aware. So it's hard to find that gap on. The only thing that's getting him at the moment is just blind speed can catch him. But other than that, it's not often he gets caught.
So as we move into the last 20 seconds, Amarali has 2 yellow warnings in category 2. Oh, that was a good kick, but look at the counter there. Fantastic. And look, what's going to happen here is going to draw the score level with that 3-pointer. That's an Ippon score.
One kick can change it, and this is what's happened.
That's exactly what you said. The only difference now is that Senchu that is held by Amirali.
I
The
think
pressure's going to be on as we go into
another.
the last 8 seconds.
There's that fall again.
Time is up.
Muy bien, Tare, así se hace. Mira la diferencia. Ha levantado la tarjeta.
Very close on that closing stage,
Very,
wasn't it?
very close. He got caught there, and like one kick can change it, and he got caught with the speed of that kick as well. But he just managed to put his composure back and just,
Yeah,
I'm still winning.
and recovered.
And defend, move, spoil.
Yeah, you use the word spoil, and that is important, isn't it? It's an attempt to frustrate your opponent so they can't score. They don't
Yes.
know where you're going to move next
Yeah.
or what you're going to do. That's the kick that scored with the video review request. And there was the Joran wash. Wasn't
Nice.
that wonderful?
That's
That
a great.
high kick to the face.
He tried to dummy takedown and go for the Euro.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing he's had some success with that in the past.
Yes, no doubt.
But he was having none of it.
But it was Dida Amirali who took the bronze medal. So our next match we have Tural Alkalazari of Azerbaijan from the home nation in the 4th Karate1 Premier League in Baku, Azerbaijan.
Introducing first, Aka. Wearing red, coming from Azerbaijan,
Tural Alkalazari. He's been suffering a knee injury, but it hasn't stopped him performing well here. He was a silver medalist in Fujairah.
He's got a strong home advantage now as well. So he's got strong motivation to come through.
He's up against the 23-year-old 27th seed Takano Hiroki of Japan.
And he's one of the new generation of the Japanese athletes, and they're really showing again both kata and kumite. Kata as we know, but the kumite now really have shown the new developing athletes, you know, coming through and making their claim.
Ahmed Saleh, the referee. So these fighters have made their way through the round robin and into the elimination rounds, quarter-finalists. They all get to contest medals, and the semi-finalists, the winners going for gold or silver, and the losers had the repechage to win their right to compete for these bronze medals. Your thoughts on the new system, the round robin system?
I'm really enjoying the new system. You know, when it was first announced, I just thought, okay, I would wait and, you know, let's see. I didn't make any prejudgments. And now, after being tried and tested, and after multiple events, I think you really get the last 8 are the best on the day.
Yeah.
You know, there's no way you can get to the last 8 unless you're the best on the day.
And you use that phrase on the day.
Yes.
Absolutely correct, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
we've seen Olympic champions eliminated in the round robin.
Sure, sure. you know, and this really gives a chance for the newcomers to come through and have a day, and have a good day, and say, well, it's about today. It's not about your Olympic title. I'm here now, and you know, I want to win, and they are getting into these medal matches.
And with the round robin, you know, you could travel halfway around the world and find yourself with just a 3-minute match and losing and go home again.
Under the previous event, but now with the the minimum 3 matches, I think what's going to happen is we're going to see the Premier League athletes drift away from the rest of the world, because they're getting 3 matches every single competition at the highest level.
Experience.
Yeah, as opposed to Series A athletes, maybe just one match, 2 match. If they're getting to the medal matches, they're having 4 or 5, but it's not at this level. So I can see over the next couple of years a gap.
As we
Evenly contested?
yeah, absolutely. As we see here, equally contested indeed, because both have had a UCO score, both have a Category 2 warning, no century advantage given at the moment. We have Tural Alkalazari of Azerbaijan in the red colours, 8th seed, up against Nakano Hiroki of Japan. He's number 27th seed. But you wouldn't see really between the two of them much difference whatsoever, would you?
There's not a lot, but you know what I'm enjoying about watching this match is they're really committed when they go. And this is a great example here. You know, Japan was committed. He scored a great counter, held his nerve. He held his nerve and took a great point.
Opening score from Alkalazari of Azerbaijan there. He now has the century advantage to go with it. Now he has that in his back pocket, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether or not Japan got his hands to block it, but we'll see now. Did he get through the guard? I think he might have just got his hands there.
It was the kick attempt. There was a punch followed by the kick. Here's the kick now. Did it meet the criteria for Ippon? As you say, that backhand, did it come down low enough to get between the foot and his body? And I think you are absolutely spot on again, William. The block.
I think he just got his hands there in time.
Just got there in time. This time it's Nakano's coach who stands up and puts the card in for a video review request.
Not often we see Maegari now.
No. Maegari, that front kick.
Yeah, not often we see it thrown, because the body has to square, and people are so sharp now to hit a squaring body, but come up a little bit straight, right? But
yeah, that's right. That front pushing kick, the Maegari,
okay.
There's the kick going in there.
It's worth a shout, I think.
The Maegari in Japanese, the teep in Muay Thai.
No, didn't get it.
Didn't get it though. He was leaning back a little.
Yeah, I think it was worth a call.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
into the last 14 seconds we go, and it is still the advantage and the UCO lead. Oh, there we go with a
lovely.
another wonderful technique from Alkalazari. Is he going to be bringing home the bronze medal for Azerbaijan here in Baku? 3 points to 1. Nakano, he's got just 6 seconds. He has to go for a big score. Pushes him in. goes for the body kick to the... Alkalazari just frustrates him.
He is. He's going to go again. I think he has to go off the line. So, you know, is Red going to try and take it again, or is he going to back off? Okay. Again, this is that. But then there's no time left.
No time left on the clock.
You know, but I think my argument is if they do it with 3-4 seconds to go, again, there's that positional restart.
Exactly. Yeah, great point. But that's a great win there for Tural. Alkalazari of Azerbaijan takes the bronze medal.
He held his nerve. I think that's a good win. I think it was good. It was equally contested in terms of, you know, he wasn't sure who was going to come out on top. It could have gone either way, and that was a very controlled win. What I liked about him in this match in particular, in the exchanges, he kept form, he kept distance, he kept technique, and I think that was the winner in the end, where in the exchange he really kept his form. Still looking for another point, just see his leg come up. Turned away a bit there, but he moved out. Moved out of range.
Some good exchanges.
Once again, introducing a new category on the way. Female Kumite under 61 kilograms. Female Kumite under 61 kilograms. Bronze medal match number 1.
Fatima Zahra Chajé is going to be competing for Morocco.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 referees in charge.
The referee panel.
Let's meet the competitors. Introducing first, Aka.
Karate, one of those sports that's for all ages, isn't it? We just saw some of the children in the audience.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about karate, is that it appeals to everybody. You know, whatever your body type, whatever your age, you know, whatever the resources you have, you can do it anywhere. You know, and we see this around the world, that classes are just being done on a basketball court.
Absolutely.
You know, so karate is accessible to everybody.
And the objective really is, you don't necessarily have to be the best, but you have to become the best you can be.
Well, this is the very nature of martial arts and karate. You know, it's about yourself. Challenge yourself. Be better than I was yesterday.
A journey of self-discovery.
Yes. Until we get here and you want to win.
Of course, yes. But that journey, you know, you start off maybe wanting to do some self-defense, maybe wanting to get a bit more confidence. Then you think, well, should I compete? And you get into competition. You might end up in the places where these fantastic athletes are, on the best of the best stage. But after that, you become a coach, perhaps, or you become a referee. There are so many things you can still do within the sport.
Always stay with the sport, you know, the sport you love, and remember why you started, and it's because you loved it. You know, you don't stop loving it when you compete. You grow, and you just find other avenues to express, you know, the sport and contribute. Here we go, Iran and Morocco, right?
That's correct. And for Morocco, it's Fatima Zahra Chajé, just 21 years of age. She was a bronze medalist in Rabat, under 21 bronze medalist as well. And she's up against Rosita Alipor-Keshka. She's an older fighter from Islamic Republic of Iran, 33 years of age. She has had 2 Karate1 wins under her belt.
So again, we have this duel between the new and the not the old, but the experienced. And you know, right now Iran looks very steady, very controlled. Again, just looking for that one opportunity, looking to take that opportunity. The Moroccan athlete is trying to find a way in, but Iran's not giving away much information at the moment. I feel the longer this stalemate goes, it tips further more in Iran's favour. I think it's more advantageous for Morocco to start working a little bit harder to try and force the Iranian athlete out, so she can find her own opportunity to counter her.
Exactly halfway through
you can see
the bout, and not a lot going on.
No, but the Iranian girl is teasing her. You can see the head position in and out, just saying, come on, go for it. I've got more patience than you. Morocco's feigning so much with this front leg.
Yeah, she keeps dipping in and out, doesn't she?
I just wonder if, I was just about to say, I wonder what would happen if on the next knee raise, Iranian just goes for her, because she thinks, well, she's pretty sure it's not a kick.
Yes, yes.
One knee in the air, there's no punches or effective punches coming my way, so I can attack without
feeling relatively safe in doing so.
And
we have both coaches on their feet. Both coaches have gone for video review.
I'm not sure if that's a good call for Morocco, but stranger things have happened.
So the kick from red, the punch from blue. That's what's being challenged.
Yeah, the punch may have even been short there. Doesn't look like there's the kick might have been powerful enough to push her back, to stop her coming in closer.
So the trajectory of the kick should be round, not up, for it to be successful. And it can just because it's near the face doesn't necessarily mean that it's up.
Oh, he gave it.
But it is.
Oh, I'm surprised. I stand corrected.
And it's, you were saying with the blue punch, then it was short. But we have an Ippon score, 3-point score from Morocco's Chadje. Maybe the century advantage to go with it.
You know, Iran really under the cosh now, so we're really going to see what her attacking game is about, because she needs to score 4 to win. So I kind of think that she was very comfortable as a counter-attacker, but
now her strategy has to change, doesn't it?
We will see.
Poor Keshka doesn't seem comfortable, does she? She is trailing. Obviously, she doesn't feel great, but she's not really.
No, she's not
upping her game, is she?
She's not causing any significant problems and imposing her will, especially with the time clicking out
and the level of score that she's in deficit.
Yeah,
she kind of just gave it away. Pretty much, didn't she?
She did. The last 15 seconds. Definitely the last 10 seconds, she didn't really throw any techniques that was significant enough to score. So well done Morocco. That was a good win for her.
So Fatima Zahri Chadje of Morocco takes the bronze medal.
You know, and I think there's an example here that you know, if you come to a Premier League and you think that you want to rely on just stealing it at the end, you know, it's a very risky strategy. It's a very risky strategy when you're just trying to take 1 point.
And that was the scoring technique from that kick.
I've seen them not scored, of course. In fact, actually, I was more likely to see that scored on a flag, and so to get it on a video review, I'm quite surprised at that. You know, a flag in a moment, you can, okay, I can forgive the flags going up, the referee scoring.
Yes.
But when you have the time to see it closely on video review, I'm not sure if it ticked all my boxes. However, I'm not a referee, and a great call by the coach.
Yes, absolutely. Coach did his job. As we move on to do the female Kumite minus 61 kilogram category. This is the second of the bronze medals between Italy and Romania. Alessandra Capra, 23 years of age. She was the gold medalist in Fujairah. That's the only Karate1 Premier League medal that she's won, so she's looking potentially to take her second. Maruna Mikhaila Mariotta from Romania. Again, another young fighter, just 21. She's been competing. She competed in Matosinhos and Fujairah, but she hasn't won any medals yet this season, or indeed at all, in Karate1 Premier League.
So this is a big moment for her.
Yep.
She's, you know, fighting for her first medal in the Premier League, and I'm guessing she's quite excited about it, and she's going to be quite. I'm assuming she'll be quite determined to take it. And the younger athletes are showing a high level of technical ability at the moment, because although she's young, she's probably been doing karate over 10 years, you know, so I would imagine she's quite skilled. But again, the more experienced Italian athlete, they come from a strong tradition, so, you know, I would expect really good discipline and embedded discipline from the Italian athlete. Again, we see this early score. So now the three athletes that have come out and attacked positively in that first 10 seconds have all scored.
Absolutely.
Just saying.
No, you're absolutely spot on in your observations, because when you could see very close dancing strategies going on, and sometimes that can be a stalemate for most of the match.
Yes.
But when we have a situation like this and it's explosive and it's really quick, off the mark, they can be very successful.
And the three times we've seen that positive attempt, they've all scored, because there's a mutual understanding when they come out and they bounce it out for 20 seconds. It's like, okay, I want to get comfortable, you want to get comfortable.
Exactly.
I'm not sure, you're not sure. So they mutually do this, but
when someone takes the initiative, it can often work to their advantage.
Fortune favours the bold. And again, a younger athlete has been probably a little bit preconditioned to this 20-second mutual move about.
Right. So it's Mangia Capra who is in the lead.
Good point.
With that Yuko score, the referee stops the match. This time it levels the score, but the central advantage still remains with Mangia Capra.
And by no means that first point does give you that advantage, but you also now have to fight for 2 minutes 45 seconds to defend that.
You can see and sense Maluota feeling a little more comfortable, but Mangia Capra was up to the attack, wasn't she?
Yeah, I mean, she held the centre a bit more prior to that exchange. She was being dominant, even though she's winning. And again, she's still making it quite difficult for Romania to pressure her and to push her back.
Both going in at the same time, but it was again the number 6 seed, Mangia Capra, who was fastest. There's a video review request from the Romanian coach.
And it's a possibility. I didn't quite see the finish on the punch, but the timing was good.
Well,
it's whether or not it connected.
Yeah, they both went in at the same time. If you look at the top right-hand screen, there certainly was a solid attack from blue.
I think she might get this.
And red was scored by the judges. And remember, the judges can only give the first point they see, but it hasn't been successful.
Okay. Because before it just used to be, if it was before Yamei, it was possible for both to score.
It still is. It still is, but it must be 2 judges for one and 2 judges for the other.
Okay.
If all judges or the majority of judges go for one side, that side scores, and
Yes.
then it comes to the video review.
But on the video review, do they score? Do they look for first to score?
No. On the video review, they look to see if the score from both were in before the referee called Yamei.
This is my point. So if Italy was first, it doesn't matter.
No. Not in a video review.
Right.
But it does for the judges in the first instance.
I think it should match
Because they can't score for red and blue at the same time.
Just pulled another one back. So she's still trying to fight for this medal.
She has 30 seconds. And she certainly isn't giving up the ghost, so to speak, here. She's still trying.
I think video review, going back to that just briefly, I still think it should be, if it wasn't first, it shouldn't score. My opinion.
But the issue is, was it before Yamei? That's the issue. If it was before Yamei, before the referee stops the match, then it can score. If it's after the referee stopped the match, it can't. But I do take your point.
I think, but if we look at the effectiveness of the techniques, if the first one that was in was not controlled, there wouldn't be a second one. But that was a controlled win from Italy.
It was indeed.
And, you know, just a day at the office, I think, for her. She's just a nice,
she was
controlled win.
comfortable all the way through that, wasn't she? So we are going to be moving away from Kumite and on to kata. So for the moment, thank you, William, because we're going to change commentator or colour commentators, and you'll be back for the next
I will
Kumite
see you
bout.
shortly.
Thank you very much. So just as William moves away, we're going to replace the colour commentator with the Kuwait Karate twins. Now, I have to be very careful of which one of the twins I'm speaking with, because they are literally identical. And Mohammed.
Hi there again.
Hi.
We are back.
I got that one right.
yeah, perfect. You know, we are back here again with a very interesting matches. Male kata individual, we have 2 nice matches. USA area Torres with Japan, and Ali Sofoglu with Enes Özdemir. I think we will be having nice performances now.
Well, we did see some wonderful performances in the female bronze medal bout earlier. That was great. Obviously, this is your discipline in the male kata, and you know these players so well, Mohammed.
Yeah, of course. They are always, we are playing against each other in all the Premier Leagues and the big tournaments. So many were with me in the Olympic Games, so it's easier for me to speak about these matches now.
Look at the future of karate with their selfies being taken by the crowd as we see the referees make their way to the tatami.
7 judges instead of 5 referees. 7 judges on the kata competition. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to judge all the different aspects of the kata competition.
So unless you were watching earlier, you may have missed the explanation of the judges, and Mohammed, you can explain what the judges are looking for, what you think is going to make the decision go one way or the other.
Yeah, for sure. There's always the strength, the speed, and the balance about the athletic performance that the referees focus on when they see the athletes doing the kata. And other than that is all considers about the technical performance. So yeah, your technique in kata, you don't do any extra movements. You have the timing, you have the stability also. These kind of things they always focus on the technical performance, and the other things that as aid, speed, strength, and balance is considered as the athletic performance.
Coming from the USA, please welcome
Ariel Torres Gutierrez from the United States, Olympic bronze medalist and World Games bronze medalist. He's also the Pan American champion, having won that recent. He's performed Kururumpa Anand and Ohandai. Ikeda Rusi, the number 18 seed.
Actually, both great athletes. Ariel Torres, he's one of the best athletes with his mentality and his trainings and the way he prepares for the competitions. Even Ikeda is one of the new Japanese generation. His katas are always very nice, very strong. So I think we're gonna enjoy this match.
Would you hesitate to give a prediction at this stage?
Well, no predictions, but I think that each one has his own advantages. For example, earlier his athletic performance is always amazing. He knows how to like control his speed, his strength, his balance inside the tatami. The Japanese, maybe he's always focusing. The Japanese school always focusing on the technique more than anything else. So each one has his own advantage. Now we're gonna see Ariel. So let's see.
Ariel Torres makes his way to the tatami. On paper, the Olympic bronze medalist, World Games bronze medalist, has the edge. We'll have to wait and see the outcome. Really fast, isn't it?
Yeah, very nice beginning of the kata, which is the most important thing, to attract the referees with your performance, speed, power, and of course the technique. Ariel is always one of the best athletes to know how he chooses the katas, and he knows always how to choose the best katas with all his opponents.
And you're talking here about the strategic plan.
Exactly.
Of who you're up against and which kata you need to use.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes, for example, especially if you are doing against a different style, you always need to have a strategy with your katas. So, for example, Ariel is a very good friend of mine, so he always speaks to me and say like, I use like with the Shotokan, I use this strategy, and with the Shitoryu kata, I always use a different strategy. So he always has a plan, and that's the right thing that we all always do. Very nice performance from Ariel, as usual.
Very confident performance, wasn't it?
Exactly. It's very important always in kata to show your confidence when you are inside the mat, because I believe that the referees, they always feel it. And my father, he's also a WKF referee, and he's always telling me that we always feel when we are like judges and watching the katas, we feel that if the athlete's inside, he's confident of himself and his performance, it's so clear for us. And of course, for us, it's so important to see the athlete. He's not nervous, because it affects on his performance for sure.
That's exactly right. And athletes can give an aura and a presence, and that can make such a difference. Now, can Ikeda Ueshi of Japan make a difference here in his performance of Anand?
Anand and Anandai, almost similar katas but with different techniques. They are both strong katas in this style, so I think now we will see from the Japanese focusing more on the techniques more than anything. So let's enjoy this kata.
Ikeda, just 23 years of age. He's looking a little like he's trying to emulate the legend of Kyo.
Indeed.
Four-time world champion, Olympic champion. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's like the legend of kata, male kata. It was always a pleasure to do the competitions with him, because even he's in Asia, so we are always with him in the Asian World Premier Leagues competitions, so he's a real legend.
Very good transitions, moving from one to another.
Yeah, he's like not having any risks. He's doing his all power with even like to change from dachi to dachi. It's not easy with this kata, so he's doing his full power, which he's showing like he's so stable in the tatami.
So as Ikeda Ueshi of Japan concludes the kata, the judges will be making their decision, and then we will have the announcement of the results. And there is, on the bottom of the screen, you'll see a graphic with the technical performance and athletic performance and the scores against each. The athlete with the higher score wins the bout. You have an opinion, Mohammed?
Well, it's so difficult, but I think it will be close.
Diplomatic of you. 7-9-2 at the moment. Ariel Torres Gutierrez in the lead. 18-2. It is indeed a successful day for Ariel Torres Gutierrez of the United States. He takes the bronze medal.
Yeah, congratulations for him. Amazing match, amazing performance from both. As I said, it's so close result. Yeah, they both did very, very nice katas.
Well, I mean, this athlete is really on a winning streak. He's another bronze medal today, but the Olympic bronze medal, World Games bronze medal, he's going to change that soon, shortly, to silver or gold.
Yeah, of course. But actually, the World Games been for Gakuji, his teammate. He got the Olympic bronze medal, and the bronze medal in the World Games was for Gakuji, both great athletes. USA are doing great with the karate athletes.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. Say thank you to Mohammed. And now, Salman, welcome back.
Hi again to everyone watching us for the WKF channel. Well, now we're going to watch a very interesting match. I think a lot of Qatar athletes are waiting for this strong and tough match between Enes Özdemir from Turkey and Ali Sufoglu also from Turkey. Both great athletes, both doing the same style, Shotokan style. So each one of them have his own great skills. So I'm sure this match will be something great.
Do you have any predictions here, Salman?
Well, to be honest, it's confusing. I don't know who's gonna win, but I know that Özdemir, he has a great talent. He's only 20 years old and he's doing great the last period. And Ali Sufoglu is famous. He's the Olympic bronze medalist in Tokyo. He's 27 years old. He's also going great with his performances lastly. So I think it will be a close match, and in the same time, it will be a fantastic one.
Yes, indeed. Sofoglu was 4 times he was Karate1 Premier League winner. He was silver medalist in Matosinhos, so you were right, he is on form. And there was a bronze medal won by Özdemir in Matosinhos also. So both of them, it's going to be really exciting. Let's have us watch and see how these two athletes perform in just a few moments.
Enes Özdemir is also the winner of the Karate1 in Fujairah, the first Premier League of 2022, after a great match in the final against Moto from Japan.
Ali Sofoglu. Is he going to be taking over, do you think? Certainly in Europe, he's challenging really, really hard now with Damian Quintero. Damian Quintero, of course, was the Olympic silver medalist. But these two in Europe are jostling for position, aren't they?
Yeah, we can see now for the previous years, always Ali Sofoglu against Damian Quintero in the final. It's always a tough match between them, so this is a big challenge always, every year.
Always friendly rivalry, Salman, between athletes, isn't there? Particularly in martial arts.
Yeah, that's the spirit, and that's the beautiful thing about the martial arts. Always about respect. It's always about doing a good job. It's not about winning or losing. Every day we learn from each other, from the other opponent. So that's the thing that's making the martial arts always special.
You started when you were 8 years old with your brother?
Yeah, 8 years old.
The same day, the same class?
The same day, the same time. And thanks to our father, actually. He was the reason that we started karate. And he's still the reason that we are having all these great success in our sport.
You must be superstars in Kuwait.
Well, thank God. Yeah, now we are, you can say, we are the inspiration for a lot of athletes. So that is a big responsibility on us, and we always do our best to be the best, that everyone look after us.
Exactly. And you went to the university, American University in Kuwait, and you're engineers.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you still working, or are you full-time athletes?
Now we are full-time athletes. We are working as an engineers, but we have a permission to not go to work because we are national team athletes. So we are also at the work together. So that is something advantage for us, because it's always a motivation to be together.
You live together?
We do also, yeah.
You are one person.
Exactly.
A mirror. And this is a person that we need to focus on, Enes Özdemir in Turkey. Kanku show the kata, those high side kicks.
And a beautiful jump.
Well executed that. Özdemir, the number 5 seed in the competition.
We can see a very nice ending of the kata. There was no mistakes in the datsis. In Shotokan style, it's always hard to complete the technique without moving the legs and make extra movement. But we can always see from Enes Özdemir doing all the techniques without any mistake, and that is a big advantage for him always.
Ali Sofoğlu, the number 1 seed, going to perform the same kata, Kanku show. And your favorite kata, Gankaku, the same as your brother?
Yeah, we both prefer doing Gangaku because we are good at the kicks, at the ikogoris, and also with the balance. So this gives a big advantage for this kata.
Great concentration. Do you have a role model for Shotokan, Salman?
Of course, when we were young, we were always following the great athlete and the legend Luca Valdesi. He's truly a great example for all the athletes, and especially for the Shotokan athletes. Several times world champion in kata individual and in kata team. And he was famous with Gangaku, and he's the reason that why Gangaku now is our favorite kata.
Each one of these stances have names. They cross stance, they Kosadachi, Zenkotsudachi, Kekotsudachi, the back stance. Now if we look for the jump. Both excellent katas. So Salman, do you have a choice? Who would you go for in this and why?
It's hard to say who's gonna win or who's better. I can see now from both katas, like each one has his own advantages and skills. We also saw Ali Sofoğlu, he did a very good datsis at the end, no mistakes, and these are the things that they are always focusing on. It's interesting now, so let's see.
Okay, let's see indeed. Enes Özdemir against Ali Sofoğlu, both from Turkey. They no doubt train together. Technical and athletic performance will be released in just 1 second. Here we have 7.86 against 7.68. At the moment, it lies with Enes Özdemir. 18.34 against 17.64. It is the day of change. It is Enes Özdemir who's going to take the win. 26.2 against 25.32. Great performance.
It's the first time ever Anas Özdemir wins against Ali Sofoglu, his partner in the Premier Leagues. It's a great victory for him, but at the same time, it's a great match between these two big champions.
We have some more community action back in our tatami. Meanwhile, let us remind you that the gold medal matches will be starting at 3:30 p.m.
So both those performances, exceptional, excellent Yoko Geris there, Salman.
Very nice yokogiris, very nice flexibility of the legs. And Kanksho is always one of the great katas and strongest katas of Shotokan style with 2 jumps. And that makes this kata so strong.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Salman and Mohammed. It's very kind of you. We're going to see you again. You're going to come back and we're going to use your experience once more in the gold medal bout. And until later today, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Moving once more away from kata and back to the kumite mat. This is the male minus 75 kilogram category. And as we await the athletes to make their way to the tatami, it will be from Ukraine and from Portugal. And Hossein Redondo, the ring speaker, will announce them in just a moment. But in the meantime, I'd like to welcome back multiple continental champion, world team and individual champion, coach for Hong Kong, China, William Thomas. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Great.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. So we got Ukraine, another tough country.
Yes.
Living through tough times.
Absolutely. And you've really got to take it off to these guys fighting through the added pressures, the added psychological pressures, the insurmountable effects on the social side, the person and the family, and how they have to manage life and how they actually come here and treat this with significance, because obviously there's a huge distraction, you know, that they have.
So from Portugal, we have Tiago Durati, 20-year-old, 19th seed in the competition. Another one just coming up from the junior ranks, William.
Yes, and again, I think the younger ones, you know, have their game, but it's what happens when their game is not being played out. You know, do they have another one? And some of them are struggling to find that new level, that extra game when Plan A is not working. You know, Ukraine now have really established themselves as strong tactical fighters, have great mental resilience and fortitude. So, again, I expect a well-disciplined performance from the Ukrainian athlete, but this is sport, anything can happen.
It is. And that's the beauty of sport, isn't it? It can be anyone's day.
Yeah.
And whose day will it be here at the 4th Karate1 Premier League in Baku, Azerbaijan? Andrei Zaplitny of Ukraine wearing the red colours, and he's up against Tiago Durati of Portugal. 3-minute bouts.
And the Ukrainian athlete looks quite big for a minus 75.
He's tall, isn't he?
Yeah. You know, he moves quite heavy as well. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if he's come down from 84.
And that point, as athletes are getting older, are growing, they have to find where they're going to be in life in terms of their build, their category, their weight.
Yes, yes, and sometimes it finds you, you know, and then you have to, you know, build around that. Other times, you know, once you start engineering it, you know, then you have other challenges, you know, managing the weight, dropping 4 kilos every time you want to compete.
So would you be an advocate of letting nature take its course?
Up to a certain level. So while they're between 16 and 20, I generally let's just let them grow naturally, and let's see what category they're going to end up in. You know, but you can engineer it.
Yeah. So coming up to halfway through the match, no scores. Referee being quite patient, but there was a fast front hand punch there from Zaplitny.
That's what he was waiting for. He was just waiting for a fully committed short technique, ride back, and then come back with a classic counter. But what's interesting, first time of asking.
Yes, and we've seen that come back and immediately spring back into the attack, being successful on a number of occasions now.
Yeah, it's a classic counter, and it's one that, even though you know it's going to happen, you still have to prepare for it. And he executed it great there. But what was good, he did it first time of asking. You know, that was a little bit clumsy. He might have been able to make something better out of that.
Two-thirds of the way through the match. Durati from Portugal in blue, trailing 1-0.
I was looking for it again. Portugal's a bit wiser this time.
Referee Yahinger Babiev of Azerbaijan not being fooled by the tactics, though, of Thiago Durati. He knew he was doing this deliberately. It's the second time he did it. Got away with it the first time, not this time.
Just to counter again, The blue tried to catch him by surprise, and this time, but Ukrainian athlete was ready.
So a call for video review from the coach of Thiago Durati. Zaplitny still leading 2-0.
Passed.
See the punch but above the head. So it's been unsuccessful. The coach has lost the card now. Can't call that anymore in the bout. Into the last 30 seconds we go. Durati hunting him down. Zaplitny again trying those close quarters strategies.
He's trying to smother his techniques. You know, Portugal should be a little bit wise to that. He's just looking for that one technique. I would like to see him attack, reset, and get the best out of his abilities. But he's just looking for that one technique that's going to pull him that glory. He's got to work a bit harder for it, I think.
Durati going low for the punch to the body.
And again, Portugal's just looking for those singles. You know, and if that doesn't score, he's too far away. He's not looking for that second, but he really needs to be resetting, and then so he can go again.
Moving into the last 10 seconds of the bout. The attack's got to come from Durati.
See, just the Mawashigiri single again. That didn't work. He didn't have anything else.
Zaplitny now going to lose that senchu, the green dot. 2 points needed to draw this match from Durati, go to a Hante decision. Coach calling for a video review request, and then he changed his mind, sat down again, because in fact he'd Didn't need to. The clock ticks down to 0. The win, 2 points going to Andrei Zablitny of Ukraine.
Didn't, neither really had a vast repertoire of techniques and combinations and strategies. And I think that the Ukrainian athlete, he just had a couple of things that were well rehearsed, well practiced, and it just proved to be in his advantage, in this match. And obviously, to get a bronze medal is working well for him. But I think he might struggle as he tries to progress up the ladder. He's going to have a little bit more to his game.
He's getting, yeah.
And that's a great point. That's a fantastic
That was that pullback just out of range and then come back in again. And that that you said earlier, he's a bit taller. That long lever.
Yes. He has the confidence to stand and reach. Great timing, and a very similar second point as well. So I'm just wondering that once he starts challenging those top guys, how quickly is it until they know that, they work that out. That's his number 1.
Yeah.
But again, it's his number 1 for a reason. He does it well. Knowing it and stopping it, 2 different things. I didn't feel that the Portugal athlete really had the tools to challenge him on that.
Ready? So let's go with the competitors. Introducing first.
At this time.
Wearing red, coming from Belgium. Welcome, Quentin Mahouden.
Number 4 seed, Quentin Mahouden from Belgium. Under 21 bronze medalist at the Continental Championships. Got a 10-0 win in the first round of the round robin. He's up against Abdallah Abdelaziz of Egypt.
This is going to be a very interesting match. The Belgian athlete, he's actually a real young, exciting fighter. He scores the big points. He's got a huge amount of enthusiasm, and personality in his fight, and commitment. So, he's one that I think people like to watch. But the strength, of the Egyptian athlete, the experience, is going to be hard for him. It's whether or not he can avoid and cancel out his kicks, number 1, and neutralize his genetic advantages.
Javad Salimi, the referee from the Islamic Republic of Iran, gets them underway. We have Mahouden, the 4th seed in red from Belgium. He's up against Abdelaziz, the number 1 seed from Egypt. Both high scorers, 10-0 in the first match of the contest from Mahouden. 8-0 was the score, and successful score that was from Abdelaziz. So as you say, William, both capable of high scores on paper. We have 3 Karate1 Premier League wins and a silver and 2 bronze from Abdelaziz. No wins yet for Mahouden, but he is only 21 years of age. Plenty of time in his career to score more.
Is he World Games champion, Egypt?
Yes, he is.
So, and World Games is fairly recent this year.
Yeah, absolutely, in Birmingham, Alabama, in the USA. World champion in this category, Dastanbek Otoboliev. Luigi Busa, of course, the grand winner and Olympic champion, not in the contest.
That was a nice reply to the Uruma wash of the Belgian athlete, but the Egyptian athlete held on to him just briefly, and a very accurate, well-timed kick. you know, he's come out to cancel his kicks out. There's no doubt about that. You know, if you notice, you know, he closes him down and he stays close. Both occasions he stayed close. He hasn't drawn out.
Now look, we've still got a minute to go.
And the minute he keeps long, that's what he wants to avoid. But 6-1.
Big score, isn't it?
And early as well.
There's still a third of the bout to go. Two-thirds of the bout to go.
Belgium's got to switch up that kick a little bit. He's got to maybe attack and feign the hook kick and come back with the roundhouse Mawashigiri. Oh.
Oh, wow.
And that's his.
That's incredible, isn't it?
He's staying close in those clinches, and he's doing his exchanges, and he's catching him every time.
Well, he was unfortunate. The 3 flags went up for the score, but he was penalised for holding on, and the referee can do that. Of course, you can only hold with one hand. You can't hold on with 2 hands, unless it is against a kick. But nevertheless, he's definitely showing his skill and style. Ooh. And the range of techniques from Abdelaziz is tremendous, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, he's demonstrating great accuracy and control and great decision making. He's not overusing his techniques. He's just, when he brings it up, it scores or it's very close.
Ooh, very close.
And under different circumstances, that would be a card, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Oh, my. Again, tremendous. It looks as though Quintin Mahoudin is suggesting it was blocked. They aren't going to have any influence over the decision from the judges. Huge score, 10 points to 1.
And I think that he might have just shown the rest of the world the Rubik's Cube of how to fight Quintin. You know, it's
the Rubik's Cube.
It's to stay
we'll
close.
Have to remember that one.
Stay close, and you know, then you have your advantage over this guy, and that's what he did. You know, he cancelled out the kick and he stayed in there. He didn't block and move. He stayed in there and took his point.
He used the twists and turns of the Rubik's Cube. I like that analogy. Fantastic result there. Abdelaziz of Egypt, 10 points to 1. He wins and takes the bronze medal home.
Stay close and then take. He kept hold of him there. Stay close and kick. Stay close, grab and kick.
Coaching tutorial from William Thomas.
Well, say what you see.
Say what you see.
What you see.
Exactly. Well, it's one thing watching it. It's another thing that's sometimes understanding it.
Yeah.
You saw what happened, but did you see what made it happen? How did it happen?
That's what I would be looking at, and possibly that would have been the conversation between him and his coach. How are we going to fight this guy? And it cannot be at range. And the one point that he did concede was at range.
Yes.
The long Gizami. And that must have jogged him to say, I need to stay close. Cancel that first one, stay close. You can take your point from there. And he physically kept hold of him, if you know.
He did. So he couldn't get it right. So he didn't let him go. Couldn't get him away.
Sure, because he's a great fighter, and he would have been trying to adjust the distance so he can score. And he's saying, I'm not letting you adjust your distance. I'm going to physically keep hold of you and take mine.
female minus 68 kilogram category now, and a match between, again, fighter from Ukraine and Kazakhstan.
This promises to be a good fight. I'm excited about this one as well. I think she's really coming into form actually this last year.
You're talking about Helena Melnyk
From Ukraine.
from Ukraine. This is Asel Kanay. Asel Kanay beat the Olympic champion Ferrell Abdelaziz to go through. Kanay, mind you, is World Games bronze medalist.
So she'll be confident today. You know, when you beat the Olympic champion to get to the final, we know that she's fighting well these championships. So I think we have both confident athletes, full belief in themselves, and as who's going to be able to impose their will more so on the other who's going to take this one.
Referee Mansour Al-Sultan of Kuwait, Olympic referee. The World Karate Federation have a number of referees who were selected to go to Tokyo 2020, and Al-Sultan was among that elite group.
And also chief referee of the AKF as well.
Exactly. So not only do we have the best of the best on the tatami competing, we have the best referees in the world overseeing the bouts.
And he's notably a very strong referee.
Kanay of Kazakhstan.
Again, that stalemate again.
I think the successes that these fighters have, Kanay just 21 years of age. And already she's taken a silver in Matosinhos and a bronze in Fujairah this season. Very much in the ascendancy.
Looks like it's going to be a 1 minute match. It's going to be all decided in the last minute. No.
Well, he may rue that decision to put in a video review request. The kick went up high.
I think whether or not... there's a warning there.
Well, the warning was because it was Melnyk who asked the coach to put the card up, which he cannot do. It's the coach's job.
But they still allow the coach to make the appeal.
The appeal can still... the call can still go through. Now, Melnyk is hoping that the kick hooked round and caught Kanay on the back of the head, but it didn't. So no score. And you were right when you said, don't think you should have called that.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Well, to be honest with you, and it's...
But I've seen them scored.
Yeah, of course, but it's Melnyk who called the coach and shouldn't have done.
Sometimes the coach has got to say no. It's not good enough, I'm not doing it. Oh, nice turning kick there, so she's becoming more positive now. I think they're both now trying to win. They're trying to now force the error from the other person.
But they also have to impress the judges with their criteria for decision should it go to a 0-0 at the end of the bout.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting about that, now, do we give it to the person that's most obviously active, or to the person that had the dominance of the control of the match, holding the center, containing the most of the match? Because Ukraine have done a lot of the more attacks, but I would say the Kazakh athlete would have controlled the fight more.
Well, if the criteria for decision would be the majority of the action and the strength and fighting spirit.
Yeah.
And who has the superiority of tactics and techniques. That's what the decision is being made on right now. And you think it should be in favor of Ukraine, and they think it should be in favor of Kanay. For those reasons.
Yep. I was thinking that I do feel that we have to give still credit to an individual that controls the match. And it's more obvious when somebody could be leading, so they're not active, and the other person is attacking.
So you could put in your perhaps. I don't want to put words in your mouth, William, but are you thinking about the psychological battle that's going on, not just the physical battle of how you dominate, where you're trying to move people around on the tatami, rather than throwing kicks and punches?
Exactly, and I think that in the matches where it comes to hand tie, because someone's lost hand tie in the last 15 seconds, they've been leading for 2 minutes, and they've been controlling the match, then there's some credit that has to be given to the athlete that has locked somebody out for bar one category 2 in 15 seconds for 2 minutes, and they've locked out a world-class athlete for 2 minutes. It's hard to do that. Very hard to do that, but because they may not have been visibly more active, it always goes to the obvious. Well, they've thrown more. This person spent more time in the corner. This person's been blocking, moving, frustrating. But actually, to do that against a class act, I think is underrated.
So you could argue you would put that in the camp of superiority of tactics and techniques, but tactics maybe, but not necessarily techniques.
But again, I would argue that once more. I would say that tactically it's off the scale to hold back a world champion for 2 minutes. You know, there's not many people that can do that.
No, I agree.
And I think that is the value of that is underrated, and I think should be a consideration.
Right. Well, there's another. I think you should make notes of your recommendations and submit them to perhaps the Athletes Commission, the Rules Commission, WKF.
But maybe.
But you know, on a serious note, nobody has the right to the best ideas, so everybody has an opportunity to voice their thoughts and opinions, and I think it's healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, every time that happens it should go that way, but I just think that sometimes, you know, that should be a consideration when making a decision about hand tie.
Female minus 68 kilogram continues here. This time the bout is between Switzerland's Elena Karici and Morocco's Nisreen Brook. We have the number 4 seed Karici against the number 8 seed. Karici's quite an experienced player. She's first in Rabat, she was third in Matosinius and third in Fujairah, so she's looking for a consecutive 4th win. So she really is on form, isn't she, Karici?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of know what you're getting with Elena, and she's a consistent performer in what she does. You know, she very rarely dips below the line of that level of performance. So the opponent will know what they're going to be up against. But then at the same time, if you do your homework, then you should be able to adjust. But it's whether or not you have the ability to adjust, because she places a really high demand on opponents to beat her.
Well, this is going to be a really interesting bout, because this is a rerun of the final in Rabat.
Okay, so...
And that went to Karici.
I'm sure Morocco would be determined to change the result this time.
And you see the way that the referee looks at the judges, and this is a recommendation from the referee to the judges. The judges don't actually have to agree. They can keep the flags down. And we do see that sometimes when the referee may recommend that one was pushing and perhaps the judges felt it was the other.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So the rules of Kumite is very much a diplomatic consensus approach.
Yeah, I sometimes feel maybe a more junior referee might be influenced by the strength of the referee to follow.
Yeah, the judges,
And,
yes.
and maybe we have to acknowledge that the referee is the only one that can move about the tatami, and he's always got pretty much the best view. So you can understand why people follow as well.
Of course. And you know, if there was an injury, the referee is the one who can speak with the doctor, the only one that can speak with the doctor.
Yeah.
And then comes back and gives a recommendation. So judges have to be convinced in their minds that the referee was mistaken for them not to agree to go with their recommendation.
And now it's changed now. Now Morocco's pressing. Before, Elena Swishgirl, she was doing most of the work, most of the teasing, most of the pressing, but now, second half of the fight, Morocco now seems to be taking more control. Maybe she senses it could be going to a hantai, and she now needs to be more active.
Could well be.
Maybe the coach has told her.
She did get another second yellow for a warning as we close in to the last 50 seconds. Karichi just trying to tap that front hand, just to test her, tease.
Constantly working, constantly working.
It bounces in, moves out of range, but the techniques are coming from Brooke. So this is that one's using strategy and tactics and techniques. The other one's using the kicks and the physical movement.
Yeah.
Both those considerations are being taken.
I just feel there's a couple of opportunities here where, yeah, I was going to say Elena can be taking points.
Yes.
You know, because she's been attacking Morocco, but she's been backing off. But this time she stood her ground.
The video review request from the coach of Brooke. But Karichi has one score on the board. She hasn't had a Senchu awarded yet because we need to know the outcome of this video review. You see the punch there going into the face from Karichi, and the punch and follow-up as Brooke, she did the punch, but then her body followed it in.
But there's no finish.
So there's no hikate yet, and it's does not have the potential. So,
nice.
Now, a little bit of frustration from Nisreen Brooke of Morocco. She's fallen into that trap of Elena Karichi. Karichi holds the Senchu now. Okay. There's a.
That's worth a shout. I thought the kick was close, but maybe she got a hand to it.
Video review. There is a Senchu advantage held by Karichi for that second point, because the video review was unsuccessful. That green dot will appear, I'm sure, alongside the Swiss score in a moment. So video review going ahead, the two judges just making their decision. Down on the right, you'll see them. Trying to decide which of the angles is best to see the technique.
I think she blocked that kick.
See that kick, the backhand was, looked as though it was up, and you see the hand between the foot and the face. And if that is deemed to be a block, then there's no score. And that was the case, so no score. Still, Elena Karichi leading 2 points to 0.
And she's skilled at bringing these kind of results home. She knows that she doesn't want to concede a kick. Yeah. I would like to see better quality video review.
If the quality of the images was as good as the TV images, that would be wonderful.
This is the way we need to go.
If you use super slow, like maybe in rugby.
Yes.
But it's But of course, it's
well, we have the technology is there,
yes,
and you just said it. If the video review was as clear as the actual filming, and you could just slow motion it as opposed to stop starting, it looks a little bit dated. And I think that this would really enhance the public understanding. You know, it's clear, we can see it. If it was like this.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's perfect. You can see exactly what's happened. You can see the punch past the face.
Yes. The decisions would be made quicker because there's more clarity, and then it makes the whole package look. You know, because the other style of video review, you couldn't put that on mainstream TV. Not when you have other sports, when they slow down and you see the analysis, and then you put that on, and it looks like.
Yeah, you know, I think we have to also be mindful of cost, and we know that you know, if you're talking about football or rugby, you know, these are multi-million-pound sports.
Absolutely.
Global, you know, and this is a wonderful. It's a wonderful sport, and it's a global sport, but it doesn't have that same level of financial support as some of those multi-million pounds.
But we need to make that. We need to make that investment in that software to jump to that next level.
Yes.
You know, and we had the Olympics, and that's the perfect platform. And I think that if we are going to continue along that mindset, we need to. That's one area that needs to be upgraded.
Well, this is an upgrade for Zabiola Porsche, because it's the first time that he's been in the Karate1 Premier League this season.
And again, one of those exciting fighters that everybody loves to watch. Love him or hate him, you do watch him.
He's tremendous, he's tremendous. 34 years of age now, Porsche. And he's up against Mohammed Ramadan of Egypt, 27 years of age. He was third in Matosinhos and second in Fujairah. So he's looking good this season. Porsche, as you will see here, the gold on his shoulders, and that signifies the fact that he is indeed the Karate1 Grand winner from last season.
And he's had some good matches this weekend. An exceptional match with Jordan, I think, was, you know, if people want to go back and have a look, have a look at the, you know, Iran-Jordan -84, fantastic match.
Looks to be one of those patient starts from both sides.
Yeah, and I think the Egyptian went in a little bit too light there, and possibly if Iran, you know, Porsche was a bit sharper, he could have taken a point on that. He's obviously feeling the presence of the Egyptian fighter.
And to be fair, he may be feeling a little ring rusty.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been on the tatami for a while. And this is a big stage, other than the World Championships.
Yeah.
Premier League is the biggest.
And actually, some people may argue it could be tougher than a World Championships, because you have, whoa, there's an argument there. Because, you know, it's rare that you would fight so many of the best, one after the other.
And if you are thinking, for example, of Continental Championships, you will know the fighters.
Yeah.
Other than the Karate1 Premier Leagues and the Karate1 A Series, you don't get an opportunity when it was just the World Championships to compete with people from different continents.
Yeah, so the Premier Leagues and the Series A's really opened that up, and, you know, it's really made it exciting and accessible. you know, and to get that experience. So when you do go to a World Championships, you're a little bit more prepared to fight the different styles from the continents.
Hooking kick, very close.
And it seems to be a similar tactic to the Egyptian 75 to close in on those hook kicks as opposed to try and pull away.
Not sure if he was holding his knee. He looks a little bit of discomfort there, doesn't he? Maybe carrying an injury on his left knee.
No doubt at 34, and he's been fighting for a long time, he's probably carrying some chronic injuries from the past.
Will the magic spray do the trick?
The magic water, yes.
Magic water.
You're okay now.
Get back in there. Well, actually, I mean, on a serious note, knees and joints undertake a tremendous amount of torque, and perhaps it was just here where he sustained that tweak on his knee.
Yeah, you know, it might not have been necessarily the impact. It could have been the foot planted and the body rotated.
Just twisting slightly on that knee.
Yeah, so the ligaments and you know, would have come under a lot of strain.
Let's hope he's okay. Ramadan trying to use that flexibility, just flicking his legs up.
I think he's maybe pulling out, is he? Has he got an injury?
Well, he certainly doesn't feel comfortable about something. And whether he's looking to, is he looking to change his footwear? Maybe it's broken. There's two parts on the tatami.
Yeah.
It may have split.
Yeah.
And that's where it happened. It was ripped apart by Borshab. Power of the man. A bit of quick replacement, new pad. Gives him a chance to have a little rethink in this man, Borshab, and his tactics. He won't have wasted his time standing there, would he?
I think he's fixed on his plan. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And the punches were in, the kick went up. Now, here's that example you were talking about earlier. The punch went in, the flags went out for the punch. The kick came in after, but was the kick before the yame?
Yame, yeah.
And certainly the coach believes it was.
So my argument would be, if the kick was to score, because it was
second,
Yame, but if Borshab would have said, okay, but if I didn't control, maybe I won't next time, I'm just going to level him and hit him, and then the Uruma wash would not exist.
Yeah. But it looks here, as the kick has gone past. Now, did it go past the head anyway?
Oh, I don't see a connection. They're going to play it again?
That's a pretty clear view, and you can see that the kick has gone past.
Yep.
So will it be yes or will it be no?
That's no.
The message is being relayed back to the tatami edge, and it is an emphatic no. And this time the Senshu is given to Borshab, who made the score from the Yuko.
Come straight back with the score. So still everything to fight for here. 1 minute to go, one score each, 1 point in it.
So Mohammed Ramadan needs at least one score to overcome that advantage, the green dot alongside the score of Porshab.
Porshab has a very clever distance. He's just far enough away to evade something, but he's close enough to move in if they... Look how close he is.
He's getting inside the kicking ability,
yeah,
isn't he?
You know, he went again with that counter. He's saying, as soon as you move, I'm moving in. You know, and it takes a lot of skill and awareness to fight that close, to settle that close. But he's rewarded. Look at, this is how quickly, this is why he's reacting so quickly.
Yes.
Because he's distanced. But it takes a lot of courage to...
And confidence.
And confidence to just fight that close. And even though he was caught with that Gizami, he said, okay, I will come back.
Yeah, the Gizami being that front hand
Yes.
punch, that long front hand punch.
Yes, he really thought, okay, I'll give you that one, but I'm still going to fight you that close.
Going to lose the Senchu now, though. This will make it interesting with only 4 seconds left.
I think he's done enough.
So now it's going to go to Hante.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he should have let it go. Blue should have let that go to Hante. Ooh.
And it's a split decision.
Wow.
3-2 in favour of Zabiola Porshab. But that was tight, wasn't it?
Closer than I thought it would be. But a good decision, I think. And the fight wasn't really that conclusive, so split decision, I think, you know, warrants the fight.
But certainly Ramadan was not fazed by the more experienced Zabiola Porshab.
No, he was definitely going for it. He was definitely trying to take his opportunities, and I think, you know, we have to give you know, Porshab his due. He's a very formidable fighter, and it's not easy to find opportunities on.
No.
I thought he was unlucky with that Chuda Mawash, but he comes straight back in to score.
So that's Porshab's first bronze medal, or medal at all, in the Karate1 Premier League. That makes it 8 in total he's had. He's had 6 wins and 4 silvers, so he's really an accomplished Karate1 Premier League fighter.
And he wasn't selected for the recent Islamic Games.
No.
He didn't get selected for that, so I think he's out to prove, actually, you know, I am still the man.
And he missed out, didn't he, in the Olympics, because he was Sajed Ganjari.
Yes.
Went in his place, who became Olympic champion.
And then missed out World Games.
Yep, absolutely. So he's a man of some frustration.
Yes, yes. I think we'll be seeing a little bit more of him yet.
Absolutely. He's 34 years of age, but we still have the World Championships next year.
World Championships, I think the initial target, I think, for him would be the Asian Games next September. You know, that will be a big target for him at the moment.
Andriy Toroshenko from the Ukraine, another Ukrainian fighter, taking to the mat for a medal contest. He had a Karate1 Premier League win, but it was at plus 70 kilos. Under 21 bronze medal in the World Championships. Big cheers from the crowd here. Turget Hasanov, Azerbaijan. He was third in Fujairah, Karate1 Premier League.
And, you know, he's been around, actually, quite long, a few years, actually. And he's one of those fighters that has just really steadily improved. You know, he didn't jump onto the scene and become a superstar, but just kept chipping away. So he's got a really solid foundation here. So it's going to be interesting, this match. You know, I would imagine, I expect Azerbaijan athlete to be quite solid, quite consistent throughout the match. And again, I'm looking for a good standard, a high tactical execution from the Ukraine as well. And he's been around a while as well. You mentioned his junior medals, so you know, they're both experienced, but maybe not as prolific as some of the more famous athletes.
Yeah, of course,
But
Rafael Agian
sure,
from Azerbaijan.
but highly competent, I would say yes. Oh,
Fast counter punch there, wasn't it, from
yeah. I think red was just a little bit short, and I think blue was going back, and it's that classic defense of to ride back and go.
Video review request from the coach of Toroshenko.
But good to see, you know, he committed. He come out 25 seconds in and he's gone for it, but he was ready. See, a little bit short, I thought, red.
Well, I think it's that one that's being consistent.
The 1-2.
Considered.
The Gakazaki could be.
Yeah. Because there were 2 punches from red, 1 from blue. Blue scored. But that one was too short, and that was the second of the punches. But there was a first one. That was the second punch.
Yeah.
If they were looking at the first punch, it was too short.
Yes. They didn't give it to him, the other one, for some reason. Maybe he was lacking in one of the criteria.
But it could have been that Yame was called
After
between the 2 punches.
Yes.
In which case it can't score. So Hasanov has that score, and there's the green dot. He has the century. There's great support from the crowd, no support from the judges.
No, and again, he's put that card up, and I think it comes back to the first one. Wasn't in, but maybe the last one. I think he actually threw 3. One, 2, no, 3.
Call that was.
It was. He hit him with the 3rd punch.
Back into the action we are, 4 points to 0.
Yeah,
Hasanov leads.
But he's not out of the woods yet, and there's still 2 minutes.
It's a long way to go, over halfway. Bowser, Joran Musawi. 3 flags have gone up.
Yeah.
Now, to score, it needs to be, it doesn't have to actually make contact, it has to be within a criteria.
Yeah, and I think that was close enough in terms of
5 or 6 centimetres away. Doesn't have to hit them on the face.
I think Ukraine's getting a bit careless now. He's got time to sit back, compose a little bit, and not run on.
Hasanov certainly dominating. There was a Jordan Musawi, a roundhouse kick from Toroshenko. This time Hasanov's going to get a warning from the referee, Joaquin Fernandez, for contact. In fact, that's the first contact violation we've had in the bronze medal bout.
Yeah, and I think he's just taken the last point.
That makes it 8-0.
8-0. The Ukrainian athlete really lost his composure when it got to like 4 points, I think.
Completely dominated that match, didn't he?
He did, and this is what I was saying. You know, he didn't come up, shoot to the top table. He literally just had been working really hard and steadily over these last few years, and he's got a solid base of development, which we've seen is hard to crack. Even under pressure, he was able to keep his discipline, keep his awareness, and to execute the game.
Yeah.
You know, that was a real solid win from somebody that has previously probably been a little bit underestimated, and now he's getting his medals now.
A great support from the home crowd.
They're happy. And there's the Hong Kong there I saw briefly, top left.
That's right. And I mean, martial arts in Azerbaijan is hugely supported, isn't it?
Yes. You know, due to one man, Agaev, who put it firmly on the
karate
mat.
in particular, but
and Zaretska.
and
Minus
Arina
68.
Zaretska.
Two great athletes, not just more than good.
Legends.
Yeah.
We usually have an action here. Female kumite over 68 kilograms. Bronze medal match number 1.
Oh, looking forward to their time on the tatami. Who knows, one day they may be out here with the best of the best.
That's the dream.
Yeah. Female plus 68 kilogram.
These are our referees in charge of this bout. Now time to meet the competitors. Introducing first, Aka. Ready in red, coming from Greece.
Kyriaki Kindanaki, just 21 years of age, from Greece. She was a bronze medalist in the Karate1 Premier League. She hasn't won at this weight. She was a minus 68 player at that time. And just 22 years of age, Sofia Karadzeva, the Olympic bronze medalist and World Games gold medalist from Kazakhstan. 4 Karate1 Premier Leagues she's had. Taken gold on 4 occasions and bronze on 2 other occasions.
And they're both great athletes, and she's really deserved that the Olympic medal and the World Games gold medal, and a solid performer. So you know, Greece, they're going to have to be consistent here from beginning to end if she's going to be successful against Kazakhstan.
Amira Golazari, the referee for the bout, gets them underway.
Immediate pressure, you know, imposing her position and,
yes,
you know, her dominance straight away. But, you know, I'm sure Greece will be looking for a counter for any surge.
Beroseva certainly trying to keep on the front foot and putting Kindanaki under pressure. looking for a chance to open up with an attack.
I think the ducking is a little bit overused. There's a lot of it going on. And in itself becomes predictable. You know, and people factor that into the training. They think, okay, I've got somebody who's got a high rate of ducking, so you do a test, they duck, and you wait till they come back up, and then you hit them on the way up. You know, and people are sort of being, you know, to identifying those that use that as a firm strategy, and it's being countered effectively now.
And study and research into your opponents, into the other players in the division is crucial nowadays, isn't it?
Absolutely, you know, and I think when it comes down to, you know, there's a long period, and predominantly it should be about you and executing what you do, but you need to look at your opponent, and you know, I tend to look at, you know, what are their embedded behaviours, you know, not so much, or not just focusing on their technique, but actually look at their behaviour, behaviour levels, and how they respond to certain situations, and sometimes that can actually give somebody away.
Well, into the last third of the bout, and Baraltseva still has the lead. She has that Yuko and the Senchu advantage to go with it, so Kondanaki has to put her under pressure, which she's going to find really difficult because she's such a tough fighter, isn't she?
She is. And I think it comes down to, you know, having the necessary tools that can put somebody like her under pressure. You know, and there's probably few fighters in the world that can really put those demands on her. And again, I find it with some of the younger athletes, they don't have a plan B. They struggle to go to a next level. Right. And I think that's what is needed now to break her down. She needs another level, another gear that really puts her under pressure. So,
but she's under more pressure now because the video review request from the coach has been rejected as a no. Technique didn't score. A combination there from Baraltseva. That was clever. Yeah. Went in with the front hand and then came in with the backhand, the reverse punch.
And just great explosion and technique. And I think that, you know, if you're going to stand in front of her and like dither about, you need to have something. It's a very dangerous place to be, to just stand there for more than 2 seconds in range. As we see there, you know, she nearly changed it all with a kick, and that sometimes can be the nature of the game. I think we're at the stage now where... Yeah.
Oh, that was clever.
I was going to say, it's going to be... I was just about to say, we're at the stage now where Kazakhstan will lose it on a mistake.
And that exactly what happened.
Not an engineered technique from Greece. She'll lose it on a mistake, and that's exactly what's happened. 8
seconds to go, though. Let's see what happens from Baraltseva. She's got to push her down into as much pressure as she can. She's got to score at least 1 point. If she can score 1 point, she will win because she has the Senchu advantage. 4 seconds is a long time in competition, isn't it?
Yes, and if you look at when she fell, she actually fell by her own industry.
Yes.
She wasn't pushed or swept or put off balance. She punched and fell herself. So, you know, she fell down on her own fruition there, and the girl followed up.
Well, she can't go out of the area again, and Baraltseva's going to have to go after her. Oh. But she went into a punch as a counter punch. Now, wow, this is some scalp to take, isn't it, from a for a 21-year-old to beat an Olympic bronze medalist and World Games champion?
Well, she's done it, I think, because she's only had she can't be caught on 1 point.
No.
Is it 4-2? 4-2? 3-2 on the
It's
screen?
3-2 at the
3-2.
moment, but it's actually 4-2. This graphic says 3-2, but it's actually 4-2. And it's been rejected. So the final score, 4 points to 2 in favour of Kondanaki.
And is this falling on the floor thing that got her in trouble there?
It was.
And if they rewind the whole section of that, she went in with a punch, fell down herself on the punch. Referee didn't say yame. Opportunities. I think it was she lost it rather than Greece won it in terms of it was a mistake by Kazakhstan.
But to be fair to Kondanaki, she took full advantage.
Well, we're fighting for a medal, and the reason why she's in a medal match is because she's been taking opportunities.
Exactly.
You know, and this is what it's about. You're fighting people now that take opportunities. Here, not there. See?
So she's gone down now. She stumbled backwards. And then she gets scored upon. Team Japan. She's absolutely delighted with that. She has every right to be, doesn't she, William?
100%. You know, this was... I didn't really feel that she needed to fall over there and to concede that, but... She'll be kicking herself.
So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 referees. Let's see. Up next. Introducing first, Aka. Wearing red from Japan, Ayumi Uebusa.
Last of the plus 68 kilogram category.
I'm sure these two have fought many times.
Over 68 kilograms, match number 2.
Uebusa, Ayumi. So both from Japan. Nearly lost the pad again.
Tried to take it with that early point, but she was ready. And this is the reason people don't go for that early point, because they fear that. But you know, either way now, it's 2:45 into the fight, all to go for.
Uebusa taking a 2-point lead over her teammate.
And both been counters.
Must be so difficult for teammates to compete with each other in such a difficult environment.
It can be, and you know, you never know whether or not this is going to be considered in some selection down the line. So, you know, and I'm sure they're very competitive in Japan. You know, they've probably met on national championships before, so you know they'll be determined to win. Ayume is clearly the most experienced of the two, at this level anyway.
Yeah, she's been 11 times Karate1 Premier League winner, and 7 times she's had a silver medal.
Absolutely, so she seems very composed, very in control at this time, and she is. You know, she's 2-0 up, but I can see now that the counter kick was attempted by Blue.
Yeah, so she is really up against a formidable opponent, former world champion, world silver, 11 Karate1 Premier League wins. Uekosa is such a tough cookie to overcome.
She is.
Just saw a glimpse there. It's lovely to see the whole squad supporting, isn't it? From Japan, whoever your fighter is.
Yes, yes, and you know, I'm sure they will have their preferences and who they like and who they meet. But however, when it comes to a team match like this, you know, everyone's supporting everybody.
Exactly.
Because ultimately, this is what makes the team strong. You know, and influences further wins is having a great team dynamic.
Both punches going in from each of them, but no flags. Neither coach calling it.
She's pulled back too.
Yeah, she has indeed.
Could be a game of two halves.
Well, the first part of the match, for the first minute and 40 seconds, certainly dominated by Uekosa.
Definitely a more consistent performance, you know, in terms of accuracy. You know, is coming from Red, and that's really what's pulling her through. She's still under pressure. She is putting her under pressure. She's scoring points, coming back. You know, is Blue, but she's not as consistent.
No, that's the thing, isn't it?
You know,
she had that one score, and but that opening has been quickly shut down by Uekosa. She's not allowing her to do that same technique again.
Oh, Blue.
Yeah, well, certainly when Uekosa came in for the attack, there was a counter punch from Blue at the same time.
I think this is a strong call for Blue, just to keep that to narrow that gap. Makes a difference, 5-3 rather than 5-2.
And it's still 42 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
You see the punch there from Musawi.
I think she might get that.
There's the punch.
No? Okay.
Hasn't been successful. Five points to 2, and the century advantage held by Uekosa Ayumi. Going to get warned for holding on. Musawi hunting down Uekosa into the last 16 seconds. Still going for it.
She's looking for the big one.
Just lost her balance there. And Hansoku Chui. Second. He's got one more opportunity. That'll be Hansoku. There's another point scored though, unless the referee deems it to be too hard.
I think it's okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
he's satisfied it was okay. So it's 3 points to 5 with that 2-point deficit and the century advantage.
She'll go for the kick now.
A
She
big-
has to go for the kick. Oh, or takedown.
Oh, that was so close, wasn't it, with that takedown?
She'll be kicking herself.
The
She'll be
coach
kicking
couldn't call a
herself.
video review request.
Yeah, that was a great effort actually, and to come back, know you need 3 points, and really execute that takedown, but just unlucky enough not to get that finish.
Yeah. So the century's been lost. Favour of Uekasawa Yumi.
I think a deserved win as well. I think she dominated, 70% of that match. She chose her moments well. I think she scored some good points early on. I think, yeah, that's a good result. That's a good win.
Well done, and congratulations to Uekasawa Yumi and Team Japan. That was the roundhouse kick.
Nice kick.
To the body, that successful 2-point score. Up to the big boys now, plus 84 kilogram male kumite. This is between Rizvan Talibov from the Ukraine, another Ukrainian fighter going for medals.
Yeah, I mean they're literally doing awesome performances across the board, and like we say, given the challenges that they have at the moment, they're doing fantastically well.
Talibov was also a bronze medalist in Gaziantep in Turkey at the European Championships. So they've been very active. 24 years of age, both of these fighters.
So on paper, it looks to be it's going to be quite well contested.
I think so. Well, Talibov is the number 7 seed, and Fateh Sen is 21 seeded.
Okay.
From Turkey. Sen hasn't won any Karate1 Premier League medals.
So he might be keen to write that one.
Absolutely. Talibov has had a gold, a silver, and a bronze in Karate1 Premier League.
So we would expect him to be coming out, quite controlled. He's very used to the situation. He's, he'll be looking for another medal, but there's an obvious size difference here as well. But one's going to have speed, and maybe the previous strategies we've seen, when we've seen the height difference, is the shorter one has to try to get inside and stay inside. And
exactly right.
It's worked both times this time, but easier said than done.
Referee from Kuwait, Mansour Al Sultan. Well, there was Talibov feeling he might be able to dance out of the way, and then Sen made the attack, but Talibov regrouped there to get a 2-point score.
I think Turkey, you know, he wanted to come out and make an impression and let him know I'm here, but just lost track of his movement and got caught.
Oh, just got his arm in the way.
Yeah. He was unlucky with that. But he's definitely shown there's a threat there. What's interesting, I'm noticing from the Ukrainian in red, he's kicking a lot off the move, you know, and would be interested in his training.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, you know, traditionally, like you see, like with Turkey, you know, he'll plant and he'll be quite steady, quite linear. And the Ukrainian athlete is able to kick when he's breaking off to the side, you know, or mid-movement. He can kick
during transition.
Yes, yeah, he can actually take it off the side, and he's done that a couple of times so far. So he can really kick well off his movement, which he's using very effectively to his advantage, and that was his first point.
And that takes some skill to be able to do that.
Great balance, you know, to kick on the move and to have that balance of coordination. Yeah, that's a practice skill.
Yeah, that doesn't happen by accident, does it?
No. You know, his training would maybe reflect a lot of kicking off the move. So he can obviously kick from a linear position as well, which he's doing, but so which makes him very dangerous. So this is what makes him possibly difficult to chase now, because he could be moving and you think, oh, I've got my opportunity, and as you go in, this kick comes from where it shouldn't.
Yeah, yes. Completely taken by surprise.
I think Turkey's got to find a way to use his speed. He's definitely faster. He's got to find a way to use his speed more effectively.
So is this going to be a successful call? Punches off to the side. There is the punch. Now, did it pass the face or was it on target? That's the big question.
It's close. And what I've seen is a tactic as well, that some people are very skilled at. Even if the punch misses, they pull it back when it's parallel to the face. So at first glance, it can be, you don't see it go past.
Yeah, exactly. And well, the video review request was rejected, so no score.
Yeah, video review can expose that. But to those sitting in the chair at the right angle, it looks like a point.
Oh, that front hand was quick, wasn't it?
Good reaction.
Yep. As soon as the attack came in there from Sen, Talibov met him with that counter punch.
So again, what happens if they both don't go back?
They can both get warned. There would be a category 2 violation.
One went back and the other didn't. Did you see that?
But then if that is the situation, the referee can penalise the one that didn't follow the rules of the didn't follow the instructions of the referee.
See, off the move there.
Yeah,
Circled
yeah,
round,
that was clever,
and
wasn't
he
it?
tried to take it again. Oh!
Oh, that double Moashi. That double roundhouse kick to the head was so close. But of course, there's no card available from the coach.
No.
Time for Rizvan Talibov's coach to put in a video review request. Now, which of the screens will reveal the best view? So that's what the judges are considering here.
Yeah, and I think the coach is going for it because he thinks the Turkish athlete can hit him with a three-pointer at any time, which will level it. So he wants to try to make it fall, to put it further out of reach. So even if he gets a lucky kick, you're still losing.
Yes.
I say luck.
Yeah.
You know,
understand that.
Yeah.
Understand that. Into the last 10 seconds. And Sen is struggling to get back in. He's showing his frustration here now, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's beginning to get to him a little. It's now on a Hanso Kachui, third yellow card. You see Talibov just standing in saying, if you want to beat me, you've got to score a point. But he's not going to. And the win and the bronze medal going to Rizvan Talibov of Ukraine.
Yeah, Turkey, he couldn't penetrate his defence. You know, this guy's, you know, he's big, he's strong, he uses it well, and moves quite well for a heavyweight. You know, moves very well.
Yeah, just demonstrating he's a little bit more experience, and certainly the way you're talking of moving off the line and scoring on the move.
Yeah, he's capable of you know, he showed it, and sometimes he did it and he didn't score, but, you know, he showed that I'm still dangerous on the move. It just could enough to cause that bit of doubt in your opponent. And that's sometimes why you do things, is maybe not necessarily to score, but if I can show doubt, if I can show that actually on the move I am dangerous, then you're less likely to elicit that attack on the move.
Right.
Yeah, so some things are used to cause doubt. You know, some things are just pure ability. You know, so yeah, good.
Very good. The last of the bronze medal bouts, and it is again the male plus 84 kilogram category. We have Murad Hajizadeh of Azerbaijan.
Introducing first,
Murad Hajizadeh from Azerbaijan, number 19 seed. Huge cheer as he enters the arena. Now, unfortunately, his opposition, the fantastic Gogita Arkania, the Olympian Gogita Arkania. He's unable to compete because he has an injury. So it will be a kick-end decision, and that will mean that the referees will go through the formality of the procedures.
That's a shame.
It is a great shame because Arkania is a fantastic fighter. And 6 times Karate1 Premier League. He's done it all. Was second in the Premier League this season, and the Olympian, but not able to fight. So Javad Salini, the referee, gives the kick-in notice and awards. Now You know, Alkalazari would have loved to afford such a fantastic champion.
And he would if he could. You know, he would if he could have done. And this was a great chance now, a great stage to go out there. And sometimes it's just about pitting yourself about somebody who is known to be great,
Absolutely.
a great fighter. And that's why you're here. You're here to fight great fighters.
Exactly, exactly. But he will have a future.
Sure.
He's only 23 years of age.
Sure, and you know, he's got a good future ahead of him, and I'm sure he'll go on.
So we're coming to the end of the session, and we are going to savour some of the karate that we've been watching. And William, it's been great working with you as ever. Your insight as a coach has been fantastic. And we're going to obviously see you in the gold medal bout as coach.
For Kata, and I'll be watching keenly in the stands for the gold medal matches.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you very
So
much.
we're going to leave you now with the best images of the session, and don't forget to come back for the gold medal bouts. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
In order to get ready for